Gather round, gather round. Why do I always do that? Hey, Catherine. Hey, JD. Hey, Brittany. Hey, Leia. Hey, Makeup by Dez. Hey, Brittany. Brittany, didn't I know where to say hey to you? Or are you another Brittany? I think you're another Brittany. Hey, Magic and Vamps. I think you may be another Brittany. Hey, what up? Hey, Crystal. How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's doing fantastically. Fantastically. Y'all, I gotta let the bright. Okay. Alright. What is this on my hand? Oh, my hand is dry. Child, not my hand is dry. Gather round. Hey, everybody. Leia, if I didn't tell you hey already, hey, Leia. I think I told you hey, though. How's everybody doing tonight? Not Palin. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if they were like, we want you to be Palin? Hey, Jay Harvey. Okay. So, everybody, we were supposed to have a guest tonight, but I haven't heard anything from her. Hello, Apple user. I haven't heard anything from her, so we're just gonna get started. That's not what I'm trying to do. How's everybody doing while I get everything set up? Emily, have you sent me anything on Cash App? That's my question. Have you sent me anything on Cash App? Because I haven't gotten anything from you. So, you broke on. Well, baby, you don't want any Wingstop then. I'm so sorry. I hope you find something to eat, darling. Because it won't be coming from me. Anyway. Soar. And thank you, Leia, for the gifts. I appreciate that. What's I gonna say? Hey, Jim. Let's see. Hey, Cynthia. Let's see. So, we were supposed to have a guest. I have not heard anything from her. So, we are going to go ahead and we're going to get into our discussion of season 4. And I've just realized I don't have any pictures of season 4. Dag nabbit. Ooh. I'm even finna tear the thing up. God. Anyway, so while I'm looking for a picture because I'm very ill prepared. Hey, lovely Eilish. The skin is skinning tonight. The skin is skinning. Thank you, Ethan. My voice gives Sassy Grams vibes. I hope that's good. On the Discord, you can use it. Well, I have to get on my phone, which is the problem. So I probably do need you to send that though. Ethan, I would not pick anybody to go. So thank you. Oh, I didn't say thank you. I thought I did. My bad. That's my fault. Gather around. Y'all, I'm sorry. I am so ill prepared. It's kind of giving like, did you know what you were gonna do today? But I didn't because I thought that I was gonna go live with my friend. And so because I haven't heard from her. She may get in here though. And if she does, then we'll just, you know, go from there. Let's see. So while I'm doing this, how's everybody's evening? Airdrop. And it's probably finna go out because I'm finna airdrop myself this picture. Because I love this picture. And hopefully... Okay. Alright. Okay. Give me a second, y'all. Yes! It's a little blurry. It's blurry. But that's okay. That's okay. It's blurry, but it works. I don't care. I could care less. We all see who it is. That's fine. So, hey, Aaron. So, a couple of quick things before we get started with this season 4 discussion. I feel like I need to change. Do y'all think I should get out of this and then change the name of the live so people know what they're watching? Or should I just leave it like it is and whatever happens, happens? What y'all think? What y'all think I should do? Leave it. Yeah. Yeah, I think it'll be all right. If people gonna come in here, they're gonna come in here. Soar. Before we have this discussion about season, hey Ernest, hey Mia, hey Troynell, before we have this discussion, hey Brittany, Shantae, hey Anthony, not me saying hey to everybody. Well, I'm gonna say hey to everybody. Before we have this discussion, I do want to say we are talking about season 4, which is a very interesting season to discuss in Charmed. My initial plan was to make the chat subscribers only. And I'm probably going to regret the fact that I'm not. But in the event that it gets too out of hand, I'm making it subscribers only. If we get to the point where it was better with Prue, and I wish it was Prue, and I didn't like Paige, and this and that, and blah, 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 da, 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 da. Subscribers only. Point blank, period. That's it. Like, that's all I got. The minute it's any of that, cut you out. Whatchamacallit. So yeah. Thank you, Jim. So I'm gonna give us an opportunity to do that. Especially, yeah, which sister was the strongest? Who was strongest? Prue or Paige? I'm gonna give it. It's 7:39, so I'm gonna give us until 7:50, and if in that time we move into that territory, going off. Anyway, so let's get into this season 4 discussion. Today was pretty good. Today was actually pretty good. It was laid back. Are we coming on as guests or just a chat? That's a good question. I feel like I've just been doing chat since we started, so I may just leave it at chat. We're just gonna leave it at chat. We'll see how it goes, but that's my plan. Is just leave it at chat. Somebody may come up, but so let's get into season 4. Let's discuss season 4. So season 4 of Charmed. I hate that this picture is so blurry, but it'll be okay. Season 4 of Charmed starts with us learning that you said the best in a different life season. Yes. So season 4 starts off with us learning that Prudence has, gone on to the lower room. She is no longer here. Shaq's unalived, my girl. She is now burning for eternity. And we shan't get her back. Piper has told us that Piper came back with a tan after her sister's perishing. And hey, Abby. And so I've assumed that it's because she went down there to go get her sister and could not find her. So there's no reason for Piper to have had a tan at the beginning of season 4, but she does. But then the tan disappears at Prue's funeral. So I feel like they kind of like filmed that at a different time than the rest of the episode, but that has nothing to do with anything. So Piper is in the attic and she is just like, now mind you, I do want to say, I'm not going episode by episode. I just think it's very important to set up episode 1 so that we all knew what's going on. Piper's in the attic. She's telling us like, oh, you know, we've tried all this magic. It feels like magic abandoned us. It feels like Prue abandoned us. I mean, not Prue, but the book, you know, whatever else. Phoebe is completely over it. She's like, girl, okay, can you please go to bed? Because she sees Piper has pricked her finger and she's like, okay, whatever. Come. Like, Phoebe does not care. Phoebe is ready to go to sleep. Phoebe is ready to Geo. Like, she is done. We go to Prue's funeral. Very sad scene. Everybody is crying or looking sad. Very well done. At Prue's funeral, we meet Paige for the first time after Paige gets a newspaper that magically appears in front of her and you know, directs her to Prue's funeral. And from there, the drama ensues. Essentially what happens is Phoebe gets a vision of Paige being attacked by Shax. She's like, no, we're not doing that. I need to save this innocent. Piper does not care. Piper is sick of it. She is ready to stop being a witch at this point, you know, pretty much per usual for Piper. But this time it's a little bit more intense because, you know, her sister is gone to the lower room and she is no longer here. So Piper is really feeling the emotion. She's never been without a big sister. She doesn't know what to do. Time rolls on. They learn that Paige is a white lighter who maybe doesn't know she's a white lighter because she seems surprised. Boom, Patty and Grams reveal that this is actually their sister and she's another whatever. They come together, they vanquish Shax. That's the story. And that's how we get to season 4. And did I do the greatest job of summarizing? No. Do you get the gist of it? Yes. You'll be okay. Because 9 will get you 10 if you are here, you've seen the show. So you already know what happens. So season 4, and someone said it earlier in the chat, but I have said before that I feel like season 4 is a continuation of season 3. So to me, season 3 and season 4 are like part A of the season and part B of the season. Because I think they wrap up that storyline. And to me, season 4 is really the fulfillment of like what we've been working towards since season 1. Them finding out they're witches, them finding out about the source, them finding out like all these manners of evil are not random. They actually have been organized like by the source to some extent. Cole's involvement in their life, like everything is coming down to season 4. Everything, like every single thing has come to this point. And I think that season 3, we've already kind of talked about how Justice said I semi-disagree. It felt like a rebirth. I see what you mean, a rebirth. I don't consider it a rebirth. I feel like, but I can see why someone would think that. I think that season 4 is kind of like, we're in the thick of it. Hey, Tyrante, like we're in the thick of it. And now things just got real. If that makes any sense. Like, because before we've heard of the source. Okay, so we know the source was a real thing. We know that, hey, Witchy, we know that the source is after us. We know that Balthazar has taken out the Triad. We know that the underworld has gotten this huge victory. That's the thing about it. Because to me, the victory is when it gets cut in half. And I think that to say that this season is a restart or a rebirth doesn't really do season 4 justice, because season 4 carries over the storyline because it's a continuation. You know what I mean? Like, season 5 to me is the rebirth of the show, because here's the thing about it. Here's the thing about season 4 that I really want to try to frame this through. The lens I want to look at season 4 through. Season 4 is when they are still having to feel the pressure of what they have to do. So in season 5, they get to be kind of more carefree. There's no more Source. Cole is our biggest threat, essentially. Barbas comes back and we're having a fun old time with him. Whatever. We're in a house of tricks and all this and that, which is fine. But season 4 is where we're still in that period where we're having to get some sort of justice for what happened in season 3. Like, season 3 is like, okay, y'all, we need to get ready, because the big fight is coming up, essentially. Like, season 3 is like, okay, we are going to have to go up against the Source right now, eventually. Right now, we're just getting prepared. Season 4 is where it happens. And the thing is by the Source taking out Prue, that was him making, like, the first move, essentially. Like in as far as like a huge battle goes, the Source taking out Prue was like, checkmate. What's your next move? Where you gonna go from here? And that's why I think that I look at season 4 as more of a continuation, because now, okay, the Source has made his move. He thinks he has completely broken the charm circle. He thinks they are not even a threat anymore because the charmed ones don't exist. And they are now like completely, Piper essentially really is completely out of like the whole game. She doesn't care. Like, I don't want to be a charmed one anymore because we're not the charmed ones anymore. Phoebe is still in the mode of thinking like a charmed one because that's her identity as a witch. And you have those two things kind of clashing, not in a horrible way, but those two things clash in the first two episodes, because, you know, Phoebe is still trying to do this, you know, charmed one thing, and Piper is not. And at a certain point for Piper, it just becomes, we're not going to let the Source win by getting Paige. Like, she cares about Paige, I feel like, as a person, like an innocent, you know, human, whatever. But I don't think it's like, oh, we have to save her so we can save the Power of 3 or so we can save our sister. For her, it is strictly like, the Source got Prue. I'm not going to let the Source get Paige. And I think that plays an important part in Piper's sort of trajectory. Not just in the season, but as a whole. Like, I think that her doing that was that first step. You know, in a previous live, we kind of talked about how Piper, we've seen how Piper's life would have gone if Paige wasn't in it. Like, if they hadn't met Paige, if they hadn't been able to reform the Power of 3, things like that. But more so if she hadn't had that opportunity to move on from Prue. So I think that in meeting Paige and being able to stop the Source from getting his hands on her, that's the first step in her being able to, thank you, Dominic. That's the first step in her being able to heal. And that's the first step in, like, is it instantaneous? No. Am I saying that, Marco, I'm finna mute you, baby, because we're not doing that here. And yeah, so, like I said before, if you weren't in here, we're not here to compare sisters. I love everybody on Beyonce's internet. I don't want to hear about how you think that Prue was stronger than Paige or Paige was stronger than Prue. I don't need to hear that. That's not what we're here for. So if you want to do that, then please go somewhere else. Dominic said, I'm a sucker for you. But you weren't my Valentine. You should have been my Valentine. So I think that in saving Paige, I think Piper got an opportunity that she really needed to be able to go to the next stage, you know what I mean, like of healing. Next year, we'll see. That's the thing about Paige that I really think the fandom kind of overlooks, and that's one of the reasons that I don't necessarily care for like who would this one, who would that. Justice, they always want to come to you after Valentine's Day. Like, baby, where were you? Where were you? Where were you on February 14th when I needed you most? But you know what? That's okay. You know, I'm always here. I'm always here for a good time. I'm here for a good time and a long time, just depending on what you want. So I don't know. Alea said, I think she was definitely rushed to move past Prue's death with the introduction of a new sister. I don't think that she was rushed. I think kind of like the point of the season though is that they didn't have time. And that's why I said that season 5 is more of a rebirth, reset of the series, because season 4, there was not time to grieve. There was not, like, I don't even think that it's that she was rushed. I think it was more so that she just didn't have a chance. Like, there was not a breathing moment for them to sit down and say, like at one point they even say, I feel like I haven't even had a chance to grieve yet. And they're like, well, we'll have the rest of our lives for that. And I think that's a very true statement. And I think that that's what makes season 4 so, I think that's what makes season 4 so significant for the show is, and really for setting up the rest of it. And I think that when people say, like, include myself, because I used to be a very big, like, oh, the show went downhill in season 5 and they started focusing on this, until I started realizing, like, that's because they had time to now. Like, they had time to be witches in tights and mermaids and frolic off with the wood nymphs and things like that. Like, they had time for that. Season 4, yeah, we had some random stuff going on, but let's not go crazy. Yeah, we're gonna meet a man to be shrinking people, and he got a golem and all of that. Like yeah, you know, we got vampires, but even like the vampires still goes into the source storyline with, you know, with Cole and whatever. But I mean, there's everything that happens comes back to, well, for the most part, everything that happens comes back to like the big overall picture, which is we have to take out the source, no matter what form, shape, or he's in. Even when they think that they have a minute, and even when they think that things are done after they vanquish the source, they still can't. Like, they literally have no, they actually still do not have an actual moment to sit down because the source is still afoot. And kind of in past lives, what we've done is sort of go through the trajectory of each sister. And I really want to start with Piper this time, because last time Piper was last. And that actually kind of worked out really well, because we had a whole separate live about her. And baby, we ate that up. So with Piper in this season, Mama is experiencing a lot. Mama's experiencing a lot. And if you were not in here, I've never seen Charmed. Me neither. If you were not in here when we had our other live, what we talked about was how Piper's entire character is a response to somebody else. Like, Piper feels like she sees herself as a younger sister. She sees herself as a mother. She sees herself as a wife. She sees herself as a club owner. And like, those things kind of overtake her personality and her character to where people are like, yeah, this happened, and so she became stronger. Like, no, she was able to handle this because she was strong. And season 4, I think, is where we start to really understand Piper's perspective of life. Because Piper puts a lot of pressure on herself to be the oldest sister. And I'm going to try to explain this because I think y'all are not dumb. Like, y'all know what I'm trying to say. Piper as a character sees herself through the lens of other people. So we, as the audience, see Piper through the lens of other people. And that's why people, I think, say like, oh, Prue needed to go so Piper could, grow. I don't think that that's true. I don't think that that's true. I think that Piper would think that that's true. Well, no, Piper wouldn't think she needed to lose Prue. What I'm saying is Piper thinks she needs to be strong now. Like, Piper thinks she needs to be strong. And she thinks that because she is the she thinks that because she is the oldest sister, the oldest living sister, because here's the really big part about this that I really, really want to acknowledge. Piper is now the oldest living sister. And I think that that is a really big distinction that really people need to make as far as the audience goes as well. Saying she's the oldest makes it seem like, oh, well, now she has this whole new responsibility about her that she has to partake in because she is the oldest sister and she is. No, she's the oldest living child. And the thing about it is that Piper is taking this responsibility on herself because I think it's imperative to remember Piper has only known this hierarchy her entire life. She has only known having an older sister. She's only known having a younger sister. She knows how that structure of sisterhood goes. And she thinks that she now is having to step into a role that she has a certain vision of in her head. The oldest sister is supposed to be the one that protects. She's supposed to be the one who takes care of. She is supposed to be the one who has a firm hand on everybody. She is supposed to be the one who can just do it all. And now that she sees herself as the oldest sister, she thinks that she now has to be those things. And yep, that they are not the oldest middle. Like, Piper's not the oldest child. Phoebe is not the middle child. Paige is the only one who actually is the youngest. Paige is the only one who technically is actually the role that she is in. However, Paige is the youngest child of these children, of this sibling group, but Paige is an only child. Here, that's the other big thing to remember about Piper and Paige, and kind of why they clash, I think, so much, especially in the beginning. Because, see, when Prue was alive and they were growing up, Prue was the oldest and Phoebe was the rebellious youngest sister. So Prue is up here on the responsibility scale and Phoebe is down here. When you get this new dynamic and you have Piper, who's always been somewhere in the middle, and she's now trying to assert her, like, not dominance, but I think that she's trying to assert herself as the oldest sister now. And then you have Paige coming in, who is not used to having to go through committee. I think she says it like that at one point. She says, like, baby, I'm not used to having to run stuff by people. That's not something that I'm used to doing. I'm not used to talking to people to see who and what and how we finna accomplish. For her, she's an only child. Paige has grown up as an only child, and now you're telling her that she is a part of a hierarchy that she has no clue how that works. And Piper and Phoebe low-key do not understand how that works because the dynamics are completely different now. And I think that we see that kind of in the fact that Phoebe, as the middle sister now, never really... I think she kind of put pressure on herself at first to be like the middle sister. Like, oh, I'm having to, delegate between these two. And I'm trying to always whatever. Like, she kind of does that in the beginning. But then towards, like, really the middle of the season, I'm gonna say about the middle, we give up on that. Like, we are not worried about the middle sister role. We are not tripping on that. That ain't got nothing to do with me. You live your best life and I'm gonna live mine. And then I don't know who this is, but please get up out of here. Anyway, So, I think that that's one of those things where their personalities clash, but then they're also in this new dynamic, and Piper is really the only one putting real stress on herself to fill her role in this dynamic that she thinks she has. So I think that's another thing that's really, really crucial to keep in mind as you watch this season, because especially at the end of the season, when are there phrases I can, yeah, there are, I just don't know which one to do, because I don't want to block or better, because I don't know, but especially towards the end of the season, we see Piper literally break down. Like, we actually see her break down because she feels like, as the oldest sister, she should have been able to protect Phoebe from turning evil from Cole. And she uses a phrase that I think is really, I think I may be making it more significant than it actually is. But when Piper is talking to her concubine after she got drunk when Phoebe turned evil, Piper says, you know, she's my baby sister. She doesn't say my younger sister. She says my baby sister. And I think that that's an important moment, because she doesn't see Phoebe as just her little sister like she has before. Like she's still her baby sister in her mind, even though Paige is there. So that's what I mean when I say that Paige is an only child, essentially, in this scenario still. Because Piper sees Phoebe as her baby sister. Because that is who has always been. And this is what I mean when I say I think Piper is a person who reverts to who she naturally is in times of duress. When she's really going through something, Piper doesn't stop to say, oh, what would this new and improved me do? Because that's not how people work all the time. Like, there are some people who can take time and breathe, and just say, okay, I'm the new and improved such and such, da 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 da. Piper goes back to middle sister territory. And that's why I say her calling Phoebe her baby sister is such a big point, because she has gone from, I have to protect my sisters, to saying I couldn't protect my baby sister. And Piper, I feel like that moment hit her because she's been trying to put on a facade. Essentially, she's been trying to put on a facade for close to a year now, and it has, like, she feels like she's gotten through it up until this point, because she's been muddling through, and now you're telling me that the one thing I had was this. The one thing I had was being the oldest, and I felt like I was doing well with it, and now you're telling me that I didn't, that I failed. The one thing that I was doing to live up to Prue, and I have now failed at that. I think that fuels Piper in season 4. And I think that even in little moments like with the wizard, when he's like, oh, you must be the mean one, or whatever he said. I can't remember what he said. And she's like, Piper. You know, little moments like that. I never know what to make of those kind of moments, because I feel like, on one hand, the surly one, yeah. I feel like on one hand, and y'all know I try to look at like the show for the show and not be like, oh, the writers did this and it didn't make any sense. I try not to do that kind of stuff, that is one of those things where I don't quite understand what the point of like including that line was, because I was very curious to know. And I think this is where what I'm about to say, I feel is why I've had a lot of kind of maybe negative interactions with people before. I don't understand what Piper did to where the underworld would say, you must be the surly one. You must be, as if she was like this powerhouse in, in their group. And I'm not saying that Piper wasn't strong. Like, please don't get me wrong. I am saying that I did not understand what Piper would have done individually. I mean, even if he had said that about Paige, or if he had said that about Phoebe, my point would still remain: what happened with that individual person that the underworld, because the wizard, it's not even like the wizard is like a part of everything. Like, he just was sort of there. You know what I mean? Like, he was going from da-da-da-da, from here to there. And the fact that he had heard that she must be made me wonder, like, what was the point of including a line like that? It was more the clipped interactions, possibly. Yeah, maybe so. It might have been more like, maybe this is who you are in this dynamic. It might have been something like that. And why am I bringing that up? And why am I focusing on that particular line? I am focusing on that particular line because I think that that is one of those things that the show doesn't tell us this. And I don't even think that this is necessarily like the most whatever. I think the underworld heard about Piper attacking every demon. Remember the Fury episode? Going after them is one thing, but saying she's surly, that's a very specific word to use. Like, if it had said you're the brave one or something like that, that would be different. But to say surly, that implies that you know her personality. Due to the lore, the older sibling is the strongest. I don't know. I don't know. It might be. It might be. It just might be. Because the reason I'm harping on this, and the reason that I'm really kind of taking time with it, but you could be right. That's the thing. You're saying I'm not saying it's true. It might be. I think, you know what? Aaron just said something. Maybe Cole called her that. That is true. Maybe the source, Cap just said, how old am I? How old are you? What am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? Maybe Cole did say something like that. Like, maybe Cole did kind of say something about them. You know what I mean? Like, especially because he's a source. Maybe he did tell them, like, watch out for them because X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? Because the reason, here we go. It took me 15 minutes just to get around to this. God damn. The point I was trying to make is that I think that that word specifically being used is important, because I think that subconsciously added more fuel to the fire of Piper thinking that she needed to be the one at the front. If that makes any sense whatsoever. I know we just went around the mulberry bush, but I'm hoping that makes sense. Like, subconsciously hearing him say, you're the surly one, might have indicated to her, like, okay, I have this reputation in the underworld, and so I need to keep going with this. And I need to, the facade is working, and I need to keep going with it. And maybe that's why she broke so hard when that happened. Like when Phoebe turned evil. Does that make any sense? Like, I hope I pieced that together well enough to where it makes some semblance of sense. So that's just my thing, is I feel like everything are like those little details like that. That's why I zoom in on things like that, because I think there's always like this thing that just keeps Piper going, like, okay, I have to stay the oldest. Like, even when they are going up against the source the first time, right? Phoebe is working on the spell like Phoebe typically does, right? Paige is at work. What is Piper trying to do? Piper is trying to be responsible, and she is trying to figure out what they're going to do with the house and get Leo to sign this will and things like that. And then, what does she even do? She brings up Prue. She's like, thank God Prue did it, or we still be fighting lawyers. Like, everything that she does, even in that moment, is her trying to compare herself to Prue. I don't think it's just someone said Piper was over it. I don't think Piper was over it. I think that's a piece of what we're talking about, is the fact that she's comparing herself to Prue in this moment. She's saying Prue did this. Prue was responsible. And Prue, I'm just going to go ahead and mute you, person who just brought up Alyssa Milano. My thing is, Piper is trying to do what she thinks the oldest sister needs to do in really hard times like that. Like, the oldest sister is the one who needs to be responsible. The oldest sister is the one who needs to keep everything together. And she's coming up with her will. And then Phoebe's like, don't you think that's a little morbid? Because Phoebe is not thinking... Here's another thing to keep in mind with Phoebe and Piper's dynamic. Phoebe has at no point in this television program or in her life as a character ever had to think about things like that. She's never had to. She has never had to put herself in the footsteps of another person, because she's always been her favorite person. Always. And she's never had, even though she quote unquote stepped into this role of middle sister, Phoebe has never had to do anything with that. Just like she never really had to do anything in being the youngest, except let the youngest kind of be her personality. Whereas Piper is now having to bear the weight of what she feels like is missing because Prue is gone. So in this moment, when Phoebe is saying, like, don't you think that's a little morbid? That's Phoebe saying, like, girl, we're going to be all right. You know what I mean? Like, that's Phoebe still thinking through her own mind and lens, saying, like, girl, calm down. It's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. Just simmer down. And Piper is now saying, like, we need to make sure that we are okay and that there is a plan set in place. And that's why I think, like, Enter the Demon is really one of my favorite, like, Piper big sister moments. And that's another, I'm gonna come back to why I put that in quotes. I'm gonna come back to it. I want to go ahead and finish this thought. Piper, when Phoebe and Paige switch bodies, Piper is like, y'all have lost y'all's mind. Piper is like, the source is lurking around the corner. We got folks jumping out of puddles and sinks. All of this is going on. The underworld is after us. And here you are. Switching bodies. Piper is like, y'all have lost y'all's mind. But guess what? I'm going to help you find it. And I love that moment with Piper, like, standing up, because I feel like that's one of the moments where I'm like, okay, Piper is clocked in now. Like, Piper is fully clocked in. And she's saying, I'm not having this foolishness. Not in my house. But I think that that's one of those times where she authentically stepped into the role in her mind that she had as the oldest sister. Like, I think that was that moment that she, in her head, was like, okay, it ain't even about pretending no more. Y'all are crazy. Like, y'all have gone insane. Like, that was the moment. And the reason I put, like, big sister in quotes is because I think that a lot of people watch season 4 specifically, and say, like, oh, Piper became the best big sister. Piper was the big sister. I don't think that Piper became the big sister. I think that Piper, I think that Piper realized that they had a hole in the dynamic and in the group that they didn't realize was so deep. And that's why I keep saying she put that stress on herself and that pressure, because she did. She put herself in that role. And as the season goes on, I think Piper just realized, like, okay, we got a madhouse right now. Phoebe is in it with Cole. She in it to win it. Paige is doing whatever she want to do. Somebody has to be the reasonable one. Yeah, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that Piper is not a good sister. I am saying that as far as like people saying like Piper leads the team, I don't think that Piper led anything necessarily. And I think that people use that word interchangeably with oldest. Like oldest leader are just those two things. I think that Piper did what she had always done, which was hold them together. I think that that is what Piper did. She did what she had always done, which was kind of corral everybody. She just had to do it in a different way now. Like, it wasn't just, okay, well, Prue and Phoebe are fighting. I need to get them together. Like that's not even in the cards anymore. Like, we now are at a point where I have these two younger sisters. And not only do I have a new younger sister, but she's not even used to being a younger sister. And I'm up here trying to be the oldest. And I have no idea what being the oldest means other than what my sister did. And I think that they all kind of had to like find their little niche where they didn't really have to do that before, because Prue naturally, as the oldest, who fulfilled that role of the oldest in their family, would just naturally kind of be like, okay, Piper, you go do this. Phoebe, you go do that. I'm gonna go do this, and then we're gonna meet up in the middle, and we're gonna boom. And so I think that that's why, bam, that's why it always feels like Prue is the leader, because that's just kind of how her personality was. And so because Piper is not that, that's why I don't think that Piper would even see herself as a leader necessarily. I think she was just doing the best she could to get her sisters kind of together. And rolling back to the beginning of the season, girl, I'm all over the place, and I'm so sorry. I be thinking about points. I'm not talking episode by episode, which is a lot of the reason why we jump to the end of the season back to the front. And if that's not something you like, then I'm so sorry. Because, baby, we are very disorganized over this way. We are very disorganized. But nor, going back to the beginning of the season, Paige, again, I think, really at the beginning of the season, was already planting those seeds of helping Piper through Prue's, going to the lower room. And Hell Hath No Fury is one of the most famous episodes of the television program. Charmed. And I think that it's because there's so much emotion involved in it. Hell Hath No Fury is an episode where Piper is on a vengeance. Like, Mama is trying to get rid of all the evil. She done got a marker that she got from Office Depot, and just completely took a demon's face out. She was like, girl, I'm okay. I'm good. Like, let's go. And she's on this kick, I think, a lot because, she tells us in the episode that it's because it hurts, because she doesn't know what else to do with this pent-up anger and hurt and rage that she has over Prue going to the lower room. And I think that the reason I'm gonna bring this back up. Piper is again comparing herself to Prue. Not even consciously. Like, not even consciously. She's comparing herself. Because Prue was in the lower room and Piper ain't ever. When has Piper ever hunted demons? When has Piper ever gone after demons like that? Like, I need you to help me help you understand. When has Piper ever done that? In the first 3 seasons of the television program Charmed that aired from 1998 to 2006, at what point has Piper ever hunted demons? She even tells Paige at one point. Prue was the one who liked to hunt demons or go after demons or whatever it was she said. Like, Prue was the one who did all of that. And this is why I'm saying Piper is subconsciously comparing herself to Prue. She is looking for an outlet for that, and she does blame evil for Prue going to the lower room. But I think the bigger thing in that is that she feels like this is something Prue would do. This is who Prue was. And if Prue did that, then I should be able to do it too. I can do it too. And I don't have any other outlet for this anger. I don't know what to do with it. I don't know how to go with it. And that's why I think we see her just pouring herself into this. And as they go to fight these demons, like, they don't even have a plan. Like, literally, they're just like going into stuff blind because Piper hasn't taken any time to like look up what kind of evil it is, nothing like that. And they go up against the Furies, and the Furies put some smoke into her, which finds like portals of unexpressed rage and turns you into a Fury, essentially. It unalives evildoers, and then it turns like good people or good witches, I can't remember which one, into Furies. So Prue the smoke probably would have got Prue up out of there. Cause mama was taking people out left and right. So the smoke would have got Prue up out of there anyway. Thank God Shax got to her first. Stupid. Oh dear God. Let me stop. Oh. Y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand how much that tickled me. Okay. All I can imagine is just like the Fury just like blowing the smoke into her, and she'd be like, I think I'm gonna be Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. I'm all right. I'm good. I'm good. So the smoke finds its way into Piper by way of the Fury, and Piper eventually becomes a Fury. We even see at one point, like before her full transformation, they go to Paige's job because, mind you, Paige has stolen essentially the Book of Shadows. She came to the house. She's been using her magic kind of like unintentionally, and it's making her nerves bad. She goes to talk to them. Piper is trying to scry for evil. She's like, girl, I'm finna go scry somewhere else where it's more quiet because I can't do this with y'all. And Phoebe is talking to Paige, and she's just kind of talking to her about what the book is, you know, its importance. And she's like, and Paige is like, well, can I look at it? And then Phoebe's like, well, yeah, it's yours too. And I think that's such a sweet line. I think that that's such, or I think she said it's technically, oh, thank you, Daisy. I think she said it's technically yours too. I can't remember if she said technically or if it is yours. But either way, it's still a sweet sentiment. It's still a sweet line. Like, that doesn't take away from it. I just can't remember the specific line she said. And I think that that was a sweet moment for them, because Phoebe was trying to let her know, like, you're a part of us. I think it's, oh, thank you, Tyrante. Look at the little bear. I think that that was her way of saying, not just like it's your book because you're a charmed one, but you're part of the family. You're part of us. The book is a part of all of us. And so that's what connects her. And that's where I say that I think Phoebe kind of spent time more trying to make herself the middle sister, but she didn't really have the full, like, middle sister experience that Piper did. But anyway, I'm saying all that to get to the point where, you know, they figure out Paige has stolen the book, and Piper, they go to Paige's job, and they, you know, she like tries to freeze the crowd outside, and Phoebe's like, you could have just blown up an entire group of people. And Piper's like, oh, well, I don't care. Like, it is what it is. Because mind you, let's just keep in mind, Piper still does not have control of her explosion power at this point. Like, this is still very much like new to her. She's really only had this power for like a month. I mean, truly at this point, she cannot control it. And someone says she borrowed the book. I love when Phoebe does that. Alyssa is like comedic genius. Anyway, maybe not comedic genius, but she's funny. She has really good comedic timing. Piper turns into a fury. She does one of the best things she could have ever done in this show, and she blew up Lily to get him out of the way. And she tries to punish the man that Paige had, you know, cast a spell on, the one that was a sleazebag or whatever. And Piper becomes a fury fully, and she just is like in full demon mode. Like, they can't even like summon her necessarily because she's not a witch anymore. But Phoebe thinks that she's not going to become a full-fledged demon until the first time that she, you know, unalive somebody like Prue. Like Prue did. So, this is where, oh, not that that's not very nice. That wasn't very nice. Just like, that wasn't very nice. I can't. Girl, what was I gonna say? So they have to use, that's what I was gonna say. I think this is the first time that we see Phoebe in the realm of like magic, in the realm of feeling like she has to live up to someone else. I think this is the first time we see Phoebe feel that. I think she just doesn't express it, if that makes any sense. This is the first time I think that, because now she has a younger sister to worry about. And even though Paige doesn't see herself as the youngest, Phoebe really still doesn't see her as the youngest. She still kind of sees herself as the youngest. This is the first time where Phoebe is like, okay, the older sister is gone. Hey, Jay Bryce. She's like, the older sister is gone. I am the middle sister. I'm the older sister now. The oldest is gone. I'm the older sister. I need to like have this together. I need to have a plan. And she just kind of has this like freak out moment, and like she just kind of is like, I don't know what to do. She's like, I don't know which way to go. I don't know which way to go. And then I think this is one of those episodes where I think we really start to see like Paige is smart. And I think not just that she's smart, but I think this is where a lot of her ingenuity of being the only child and sort of having to like entertain herself and work by herself and problem solve by herself comes into play, because she's like, okay, well, I substituted the word, you know, demon for dirtbag. So why can't we just substitute the word whatever for sister? And Phoebe is like, and then when she says like, oh, you know, well, we might need some blood, what does Paige do? My girl puts out that hand. She says, she calls for that knife and gives it right on the coal. She said, here you go. She said, she said, baby, if you a demon, we finna go ahead and we finna use that to our advantage. Let's go. She said, no, ma'am. She said, no, ma'am. We finna use that right on to our advantage. And Piper comes back. She attacks. And it's funny because that scene where Piper comes is very, I think, telling. And I used to think that that Phoebe was thinking selfishly when she says, you think that I abandoned you. I abandoned Prue. And I used to think, of course Phoebe is going to make this moment about her. But as I really started thinking, and as I really started putting puzzle pieces together, and really started to look at this show from a different perspective, I don't think Phoebe was talking to Piper. I think Phoebe was talking to Phoebe. And now, am I saying that that's some revolutionary thing? No, I'm telling y'all the experience that I had with the show. I'm sharing that to say, like, that was the first time I had thought about that. I think Phoebe was talking to herself and saying, I left you and I left Prue, and this is what happened, and I don't know what to do with this in this moment. And I think that that's why she tries to say it through Piper, because she thinks I really think that she assumes that Piper thinks that. I think that in her heart and in her mind and in her soul, she thinks Piper thinks this because she thinks it's true. And that's what makes that moment even more sad, is to think about Phoebe feeling that way, but never saying it, or anyone asking her about it, or anyone, her not having that opportunity to say it. And that makes that even more sad. And I think that adds another layer kind of to what she does, what Phoebe does later on in the season by going for Cole. I think she kind of had that level of disassociation, like, okay, we did this, you know, we got the source out of the way, we got this, you know, retribution for Prue, and now maybe I can live a life for her that was one of happiness, and I can like have this normal family for her. Whole other conversation. We'll get to that. So, you know, Paige feels like Piper's coming after her because she throws a lamp at Piper's head, even though she's on this side of the room, and for some reason the lamp comes from that side. But it was a very strange moment. Like, it wasn't even like it looked like someone threw it. Like someone just threw it. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Leo orbs them to the mausoleum, where they have put Prue in the microwave and then put her in this grave. And Cole is like, where is he taking them? And Phoebe figures out where. And she's like, to what Piper's really mad at. And I love the fact that Phoebe figures that out because Phoebe knows Piper. And I think that in that moment, once Paige says that out loud, that like Phoebe's not the one who abandoned you, it's Paige. It's Prue. I think that Phoebe is like, oh, this goes so much deeper than I thought it does. Or thought it did. So they get to the mausoleum, and you know, they have the famous scene, and you know, I joke about this scene sometimes, but girl, not me finna cry. Why am I finna cry? You know what? Because that's the magic of Charmed. That's the magic of Charmed. And we've talked about this before. When you really get to thinking about what Charmed is and what it does, baby, it'll make you very emotional. What I love about that scene is it goes back to what I've been saying and what we've been talking about multiple times. Paige let or helped Piper through this. Was Piper the most inviting to her? No. But Paige was that pathway that Piper needed to really, really understand how she was feeling. And when Paige says, when my parents died, I was alone and I hated them for it. I think that struck a nerve with Piper simply because she's finally hearing that other people feel like that too. And the reason that I feel like that makes me emotional as a person is okay, let me gather my thought on this. I think the reason that scene resonates with me so much is the same reason that, like, y'all are here listening to me talk about this right now. And the reason that we're able to have these discussions and you can, like, get in a chat, because we all felt like we were alone. Like, most of us anyway, felt like we didn't have anyone else that we could talk to about this show, or that could understand how we felt about it, or why we felt so strongly about certain characters, about certain things. And we can come together now and hearing, I think that's why people like get so excited and they kind of overdo it sometimes with sharing like their opinion, is because they've never had anyone to share it with. And now you're telling me that there's this fat man in Louisiana who talks about this show, and there's people in the comments who've talked about the show, and then there's people on the screen that have talked about the show. Like you're telling me that there's this whole world of people who feel and think and whatever else the same thing that I do. And I think that is why Piper reacted like that. Was she felt like that, but this is the first time she's had to go through losing her older sister. And someone is telling her, I understand how you feel. I see what you're going through. And I am proof that you can get through it. And when Piper goes, you know, how dare you? And then she goes to, you know, the microwave to hit Prue. It's beautiful that Paige let Piper feel safe enough to say it out loud. And to not just lurk in the shadows with it, or keep it to herself, or, you know, try to hide it away, or, you know, whatever else. That's a lot of the reason that I think eventually they do start to bond, is Piper knows that Paige can get it. Like, even though, like I said, they don't necessarily just become, you know, sisters braiding each other's hair right off the bat. I think that's why it eventually does happen, is because Piper knows that Paige understands, at least. And she knows, like, we may not always see eye to eye, but that's the first time that she didn't even feel safe enough like that with Phoebe. And I don't even think Phoebe had the words, because here's another big thing to really, 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 really put in perspective. Piper and Phoebe were grieving the same person from two different perspectives. So for Piper always had Grams. Piper always had Prue. And Grams was gone. And, you know, she's hurt. And what am I going to do next? But she still had Prue. Prue was still there. Prue was still the person that she had seen as her mother growing up. Prue was still the person that had helped her through some of the hardest moments of her life. Prue was still the person who supported her, right? And now she has lost that person. And I am going to make this statement, and this is me jumping out the window a little bit. And I'm going to explain what I mean, so don't come for me in the comments, because you know it'd be lagging a little bit, so give me a second. I think that when Prue goes to the lower room, I think that that is the first time Piper felt like she lost a parent. I think that is the first time that she feels like she lost a parent. Because there was always somebody there. Like, she never knew Patty, right? Or she didn't really remember her like that as a mother. You know, Victor wasn't there. Grams was her parent. You know, I'm not saying that Grams was not her parent. Grams was an important authority figure in her life. And she then went on to the lower room. But she still had Prue. And they drive home to us in every episode that Prue was like a mother to them. Not every episode, you know what I'm saying. Like, they drive home to us as much as they can. Prue was like a mother to them. When Mom passed away, you stepped up. You were the one who became like a parent to us. You did this. You did that. So Prue is that last parental figure that she has. Prue, not everybody went to the lower room. Not everybody. Not every single person. But a good majority. Grams and Prue for sure. Like, Grams and Prue for sure went to the lower room. Like, Grams was up here taking out husbands. Prue took out half of San Francisco. My girls, they were in the lower room. They were in the lower room. Prue was that last little safety net that Piper had. And Prue was that last person that made her feel safe. The last person that made her feel protected. The last person that made her feel like, if I fall, there's someone there to catch me. Prue was the last person that she could look to for guidance. And now she doesn't have her anymore. And I think that that's why we see Piper almost start to spiral. And I think that that's why we see Piper become a completely different person in the alternate reality or alternate timeline, whatever, in season 5, is because she doesn't have that guidance, but she also doesn't have a place to express it. And so that's why she's leather clad. That's why she's hunting demons. That's why she's whatever, is because she doesn't have a way to express that. And Piper doesn't have the opportunity at any point to really focus on the fact that, like when she's sitting there crying, I cry every single time at the way Holly says, "I've always had a big sister." That breaks my heart, because you can tell Piper doesn't know what this new reality is. Like, I remember when she was crying over Grams and she was like, you know, we don't have anyone. You know, there's no one left to help us. There's no one else to, you know, guide us through and tell us what to do when she's talking to Prue. But when she's sitting there with this blank, empty stare, just like mindlessly brushing her hair, and she's just like, I've always had a big sister and I don't know what to do without one. I think it just is like kind of hitting her in the face, but not hitting her, that I don't have a person to go to anymore. I mean, it like that scene just breaks me every time I see it. And Phoebe, This is why I say the two of them are grieving from different perspectives. And it goes back to something I said earlier. Phoebe has a completely different experience because Phoebe has never been without a big sister. Ever. Throughout the course of her life, throughout the course of this show, throughout the course of the comics, Phoebe is never without a big sister. And she doesn't have that same level of, oh my God, what do I do now? Because Piper may still be a mess in the moment, but Piper is still her big sister. Piper is still the person who used to comfort her when she was little. Piper is still the person who can put the Band-Aid on her knee when she falls. She still has that safety net. So, not saying that Phoebe doesn't feel like she lost a parent as well, but I feel like Phoebe is in a situation where, this is gonna sound so horrible. Oh my God. I'm gonna say this because I want to drive home the point, and I hope that I don't offend anybody. But I'm making this specifically for this scenario because I think Piper is looking at it like my last parental figure is gone. Phoebe is looking at it like I lost this parent, but I still have this one. Does that make, like, you see what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm not saying that makes it hurt any less. I'm not saying that makes it, softer of a blow. I'm not saying that it's always, that makes it, like, oh, well, you lose one, you got the other. Phoebe still has someone there in that role for her. And she doesn't have to worry about who is going to help take care of us because she still has a big sister. And that's why I say that their grieving comes from two completely different places, because Phoebe can put it aside. Phoebe can say, okay, well, let me hold it together a little bit because, whatever. Like, Phoebe still has that level where that's why Piper is just fully, like, out of it, because not only is she grieving, but she's pressuring herself to be the person that she is grieving. And while we're on the subject of roles and whatnot, I do want to absolutely say, excuse me, I think Grams, and this may not be the most popular of an opinion. The pain is equally strong, but it's received differently. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yes. This may not be the most popular opinion, but I think that Grams inadvertently played a part in that, in Piper's pain, and Phoebe's too, but Piper specifically, because Grams, I can't remember the word. I know Daisy and I have parentified. Grams very much parentified Prue. Like, very much. She made Prue into the little protector. From what we have heard of the show, Grams put these expectations onto Prue. And I think that that's why they have the hierarchy system that they do mentally, because Prue was propped in their minds. Like, Prue was propped up to be at the top of the food chain. And here's the interesting thing about this, right? Here's the interesting thing about that. I could absolutely see someone being like, Galen, shut up, that doesn't make any sense. You can see it in season 6, because when Grams comes back in Wickstock and Phoebe and Paige have moved out, what does she say to Piper? And you're the oldest. You're supposed to keep them together, or whatever it was she said. She, quick as a snap. Piper has been the oldest living child for like 2 years at this point. And how could you let them? The first thing Grams does, you're the oldest. You were supposed to stop them. You, as the oldest child, are supposed to be able to put a stop to it with a clap of your hand. And that's how we know that Grams had this really overly mature vision of what the oldest child is supposed to be. Piper has never been the oldest child in her life before 2 years prior to that episode. And you're already talking about she's the oldest. She should have been able... Girl. Let's be for real, shall we? Let's be for real. Let's be serious. Let's be serious, Black, for a second. Because there's no way that you think that because Piper is the oldest living child, but you think that because Piper is the oldest living child, she is supposed to have some sort of agency over her sisters to stop them from moving out of the house? Does that make any sense? Because it doesn't make any sense to me. That doesn't make any sense. And if they're doing that as adults, think about what she had to have been doing when they were children. Like, I can't imagine when they were children, the way she must have constantly set Prue up to be their protector and their guider and their this and their that. Like, I cannot imagine. I could not imagine how she made it. You can even see it in season 4, when this season that we're discussing. You can even see it when Phoebe brings her younger self back forward to the present. Hey, godmother. When she comes back and she gets scared, what does she say? I'll sick Prue on you. You're what? Was Prue a dog the whole time and we didn't know? Did Prudence turn into a dog when she was a child and we just didn't know? Like, that doesn't make... That just really, I feel like, adds validity to my thought that Grams is a lot of the reason that these people are the way they are. Because what child? She was like that because the girls got their magic together in the house, not separately. I don't understand what that means. The fact that this child had the not even idea. She had like the confidence, the full confidence to say, I will sick, not get, I will sick Prue on you. That's what you say about a dog. That is what you say about a dog. You sick 'em, Prue. Like you get what I'm saying? Like, this child instantly in getting scared was like, I'm gonna put my big sister on you and she's gonna get you. These are full grown adults. These are adult people standing in front of her. But in her mind, her sister, who had to have been like a teenager at this point, because I think this little Phoebe was like 10, so Prue would have been like 15. This girl thinks that her teenage sister is going to be able to take on this room full of adults. That is very telling. That is very telling. And I just think Grams is to blame for a lot of that. Now, Emma in the house being together, their magic was more powerful than living separately. I'm not sure what that has to do with what we're talking about, but yeah. But, you know, that's why I say, like, Grams did these girls a disservice. Am I saying that she's the reason that Piper was hurting? No. I'm saying that the way that she set up their hierarchy is why Piper put the stress that she did on herself. And when Prue was a dog, she said, of course she'd be beautiful. Yeah, no, yeah, that is a perfect example. It was almost kind of like a, not jealousy. What word am I looking for? It was kind of like an eye roll moment. Like, of course Prue would be so perfect that she would even be a beautiful dog. You know, because in their mind, Prue could do no wrong. So, of course, Prue is a pretty dog. Like, of course she's a beautiful dog. She couldn't even be a Rottweiler this one time. She couldn't even be a pug. She had to be this beautiful, beautiful dog. And little moments like that come through. And I think that that's why the show, I think that's why the fandom takes a lot of cues from the show. Because at a certain point, I would say really season 4 and 5, they kind of talk about Prue like she was an era in time versus a person. There was one episode, and I can never remember which episode it is, but there was one where they're talking about the Demon of Illusion. And Paige is like, who was the Demon of Illusion? And Lily is like, he was before your time, during Prue. And I remember thinking that's such a weird way to phrase it. I remember thinking like that was such a strange way to say, excuse me, that was during Prue's time. It wasn't during Prue's time. It was during Prue. So it felt more like Brittany462 is saying it was. Okay. Let me make sure I'm putting my words correctly. Or fully explaining what I mean. The reason that I say it was it was. Okay, you're saying it was a weird way to phrase it. Girl, my bad. I was like, Lord Jesus, I'm up here just talking crazy and don't nobody understand. Okay, good. We all on the same page. It was such a strange way to say that. And I think that that's another thing that really props Prue up to be more than she was. Now, Witches in Tights. Oh, thank you, because I have never been able to remember which one it was. I always forget every single time. It's interesting that they talk about like in season 5, and we'll get to it. Season 4 and season 5 really make Prue almost seem like she was superhuman. You know, she wrote this animal conjuring spell that apparently was so difficult to do that it took her a while to master. And, you know, this, you know, she was an era in time, apparently, where we had to stop and say that demons happened during her. I mean, just all of this stuff just makes her seem like she is just next level. How are we gonna defeat the source without Prue? Prue held a job and was a witch. You know, Prue, everything was just Prue. Prue was like this zenith, the apex of what humanity could be. And I almost think that could have worked if we had never seen her. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it would almost work if we had never seen Prue on the show. And then it would be like, oh, Prue must have been pretty. Because I think that what happens is the characters are seeing Prue through a certain lens. And that's why they write her that way. Because the characters, as people, are seeing Prue. I don't think it was weird, like IRL, you would talk about a family member after they died. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, like, of course you're going to talk about a family member. Not you think they just gonna stop talking about them. No. What I'm saying is that the character saw Prue as Oh, because you were responding. Oh, Joseph, I was like, oh my God. But no. The thing is that, what was I about to say? Daisy said they angelified her. Like, it was like she could do absolutely no wrong. And the thing is, even Paige saw her as that. Even Paige saw her as someone who just was this like being of perfection, and no one could hold a candle to Prue. And even Barbas is, like jabbing at her, like, you can't be Prue, whatever else. And season 4 is still in that aftermath when, oh, I hope I'm not, am I? Okay, wait. I'm not talking crazy. Okay. But season 4 is still in the aftermath where, we're dealing with Prue being gone. We're dealing with this new reality, but we can't deal with the new reality because we're still dealing with the source. So the source is still here. The source is still here. We're here, but the source is still here. So we got to find some kind of way. We can't be fully right here because we got to be right here, and it's never, like, even in the moment that they vanquish Shax, what does Phoebe immediately say? It's not enough. We got to get the source. That is the first thing out of Phoebe's mouth. They just avenged their sister by vanquishing Shax. And the first thing Phoebe realizes is, this is not going to stop. We have to go after the source. And I think that that comes from like the weight of that episode of Charmed Again Part 2, where the source is trying to tempt Paige into evil, and he is going directly for her. So I think that's what Phoebe is realizing in that moment. Like, okay, we got him. However, this is not going to stop because Shax was just the messenger. Shax was just the one who got Prue to the lower room. The source is the mastermind. The source is not going to stop until all of us are burning with Prue for eternity. And that's what I mean when I say they don't have a moment to breathe. I think them vanquishing Shax is the perfect analogy for this season, and me saying they don't have a moment to process and take in a victory like that. Like, they just avenged Prue. They just got the demon who vanquished her, but they can't truly appreciate that moment because they still have to go after the source. So I know it's a lot. We're going to keep going, but I'm going to give us a little break. And what better way to take a break than do an ad? Would you like to support an up-and-coming content creator? Would you like to be a part of bi-weekly Charm Zooms? Would you like to be a part of a GroupMe group chat? Well, silly rabbit, this trick is for a kid. Well, not kids. That's not what I meant. Ew. No. Wait. Ew. No. That's not what I meant. Girl, just listen. Hit the little subscribe thingy. Okay? Hit the little subscribe thingy. And you can subscribe to the live. And you get everything I just mentioned. Or you can go follow me on Patreon. You can subscribe to my Patreon. And you can become a part of the GroupMe, the Charmed GroupMe community. Or you become a part of the bi-weekly Charmed Zoom that we have. So, and if you want to, you can just go follow me on YouTube. Subscribe to me on YouTube. I would suggest that you subscribe to me on YouTube anyway, because why not? I mean, what is it going to what is it gonna cost you to go subscribe to me on YouTube? It's free. You just hit a little button. That's it. You just hit a button. But if you hit the little button here, it's not free. So it's $2.99. It's $2.99. I think they're having a little sale right now. I think they're having a little discount right now. So you can subscribe to the live, or you can follow me on Patreon, And you can subscribe to one of the tiers there. Now, if you're really cutting up, you can do both. But I'm just going to say, do one or the other. If you can't financially support, then baby, trust me. I'm not, girl, I get it. I promise you, I get it. However, if you would like to, and are able to financially support an up-and-coming content creator like me, and all I'm saying is, my current patrons / TikTok live subscribers don't know it yet, but I got a couple of surprises coming. Oh, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited to share what it is. What they are. I say what they are. I could tell y'all, but I'm not going to right now because it's a secret. It's a secret. So, if you'd like to find out what the secret is, then subscribe. Why must you tease us, Anton? Just call me Anton. I'm just going to wait here until somebody subscribes. And when you subscribe, we'll go back to talking. So it's on y'all. If somebody in the live that's not subscribed would like to subscribe so we can go back to talking, then it's up to you. I'm so stupid. So, that's all I'm saying. If you'd like to. I'll wait. I ain't got nothing but time. No, how do I subscribe? You just, friend, you don't have to. I mean, if you do want to, you just hit the little star thingy that says subscribe. There's a little yellow star. And you just, it'll tell you from there what you need to do. It'll tell you from there. If you'd like to support an up-and-coming content creator like me, you can, yeah. I forgot we could give subs. I forgot. Yes. So y'all, let me ask y'all a question. Let me ask my subs a question because I want to make sure everyone is okay with this. Would y'all be okay if I gave one away? I also hate how you have Paige in the background and not Prue. Well, baby, we're discussing season 4. So, I don't know what to tell you. Thank you, friend. Oh, TARDIS. Wait a minute. Now, TARDIS. Listen. TARDIS. You know. Tev is part of the family. God, why do I keep saying family? I hate when people say family. Tev is part of the community. He always was. Let me say that. Let me double back. Tev has been one of my Twitter followers from like back in the cut. When I say back in the cut, I'm talking about when I was tweeting to myself. So he is choosing to support in a different way now. He has always been an elite employee. He's just choosing to be a different tier of elite employee. And then TARDIS just made 5 more people elite employees. Baby. Guess we both family. Let me tell y'all why I hate saying family. I hate when people say family because I hate when like you go to a job and they're like, we're a family here. Because when you hear we're a family, it's giving that I didn't really want to be here. And I really shouldn't be here. And that's why people quit. Because you're going to take advantage of me. It gives very that. I hate when people say family. Now, if you tell me that you feel like we're a family, that's one thing. I, Galen, am not going to go into saying we're a family. Thank you, friend. I'm going to tell y'all what I'm going to do. And y'all might, so let me tell y'all. So let me ask my subs this. Let me ask y'all this. Because I just want to make sure. So TARDIS just gave out 5 subscriptions. All I'm saying is, what if I meet her 5? What if I match her 5 with 5? Because your boy just got paid today. So like, what if I meet her 5 with 5? I don't want nobody feeling like, oh, damn, I done paid for this and now he just giving them away. I'm just saying, you know, the other day, Makeup by Dez, she gave a boat ton of them away. And now TARDIS has done it. And I just feel like it's only right that I do that. But I don't want nobody to feel like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Joseph said, we don't care, you the boss. Let me go ahead and make the paying it forward. That's how I look at it. That's how I look at it. Paying it forward. Because I didn't realize until the other day that I could do it, but you know I was poor. And so I didn't, you know. So yeah. So I'm a match. Now girl, I don't know if I can do what my girl did the other day. I don't know if I can do that. Because girl, she gave away about 15,000 of them. So I ain't know what was happening. Okay. Let's see who all in here first. Because should I do them to specific people or what? What y'all think? Let's see who all in here first. Because I ain't trying to go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't trying to go crazy. Like, let's not just be bringing in and everybody up, man. Let's not go crazy like that. Let's not go crazy like that. I can, Daisy. I can give it to specific people. And I did not realize that. Yeah, I didn't realize there's a little option to do, I can either do random or specific. So, what y'all think? Because I feel like giving it to like specific people, especially if they're not in here, I feel like that's not fair. I feel like if you're watching right now, you should be able to get it versus someone who's not even. Because at that point, I feel like that's just me showing favoritism. Because it's gonna be somebody I want. Somebody I know. Yeah, let's do it to random. Let's do it to random. All right, y'all. All right, we're gonna do it to random, and we're gonna do 5. And I agree to the terms. Girl, if this card don't go through, and I just do 5, and I agree to the terms. Girl, if this card don't go through, and I just dang, nab. Okay, there we go. Tania. And that person. And to Rude Boy. And to Mark. Okay. And to Tori Evans. So congratulations to you 5. You are now elite employees. You are now elite employees. Oh, y'all, I didn't send one. Do y'all remember when we said that we were going to send one to Prince J? Remember that. Remember we said we were going to send one to Prince J. Okay, so let me go ahead, send one to Prince J while I got a little, you know, something, specific user. And then I can't find his thing now. Okay, hold on. Y'all give me a second because y'all remember we said we were going to send one to Prince J. So, and now I can't find him. So if I can't find him, I'm not going to, you know, go crazy. Okay, well, I can't find him. So, all right. Yeah, well, we're just going to have to double back because y'all remember that. But, girl, if he come back in here, we'll do it then. Because I don't see him on the list and I can't search for people. So, it ain't giving me the option to search for nobody. So, we'll catch him next time. Everyone's an elite employee. Does anyone know? It doesn't. I mean, like, I know his username, but it doesn't. It's not letting me like search for a person. I don't know, man. I don't know. It don't like me. It doesn't like me. But oh well. We'll get it to him. It's one person I want to give one, but I don't think they want it, and I'm not gonna do that. They probably do have to be in the live. I feel like they do have to be in the live. I think they probably do. But anyway, I don't know. We'll see. Probably so. But anyway, so congratulations. So Brittany is saying, too bad not everyone can be mods. And so what she's referring to is the fact that, thank you, Jay Harvey, is the fact that you become, or I used to have this thing where you could become a moderator when you subscribed. But I did not really think that through. And so now I think we have maybe just a few too many. And so I have not talked to them yet. And this is probably not the best format, but we're gonna probably cut that number down. But we're gonna discuss that later. That is gonna be a later discussion. So yeah. I don't want everybody to hate me. Oh my God. So it's not a bad thing. Like, it's not a bad thing. I promise you, it's not like a bad thing. It's not like, oh, I'm finna just like whatever. I'm just saying, I think that for the number of people that have subscribed. Let me tell y'all why. So let me stop and tell you why real quick. When I first was like, you can be a moderator if you subscribe. Genuinely, I thought the most people that would ever subscribe to me were like 10 people. And so it's like, now there's like 30, and that's just too many people as moderators. That's too many people. And I look too young to be having salt and peppers. Baby, I'm 32. I'm 32 years old. I'm up there. So, but that'll be a discussion for a different day. And I hope that y'all aren't mad at me, and I hope that y'all do not hate me for that. And I've been really worried about talking to y'all about that. So we only need 4 more people. Okay, y'all, come on now. We only need 4 more people. We only need 4 more people to meet the goal of 100. Girl, think about that for a second. I set that goal to 100 because I was like, I'm not worried about that. That ain't even something to like keep an eye on. And between me tonight and then TARDIS, we only need 4 to meet the goal of 100? Girl. I see that eating and being able to pay your utility bills and feeding your children and putting gas in your car is apparently more important than supporting me. So, you know, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. If you don't love me and you hate me and you just want to see me go to the lower room with Prue, then continue doing what you're doing. Imagine telling somebody that. Imagine telling somebody, Daisy! Oh my God, Daisy! Baby. One thing about us, 2 things for sure. We're gonna come together. Baby, we're gonna come together. Jay Harvey, Daisy, TARDIS. Anthony. JD. Girl. Y'all hussies don't make me cry. Because y'all know I cry real easy. Y'all know I cry real easy. Y'all know I cry real easy. Don't make me cry. Thank you, everybody, for that. Thank you. Wow. Wow. Thank you. I'm speechless. Like I'm like, thank you. So I'm really trying not to cry. Thank you. Thank you, Brittany. I'm so like, whatever word I'm looking for about this, because the fact is, oh God, and I know we talked about this the other day and I broke down. The fact that y'all believe in me enough for this, for that, to send subscribe, like I'm in amazement, elation, shock. So okay, okay, get it together, get it together, get it together. So there's two things that I've been working on getting, that I've been putting money back for. What I get from TikTok, I told y'all I put it back for a camera. But there's two other things that I, on a more immediate basis, have been putting money from this back for. Number one, we've talked about doing merch, right? And I realized that if we're gonna do merch, we need a logo. And so one of the things that we've been associating with everything is Power of G, right? So I'm working on getting us a Power of G logo. That's the first thing. The second thing that I've been working on is a thank you, Brittany. Is you now y'all might be like, this don't make no sense, right? But I have a specific reason in my mind. You know how you can do like the cameos from different people? I want to get one from Holly Marie Combs. And I'm gonna let her know that we have a community here, and what our community name is. And I was going to do the cameo just so she could kind of give us some encouragement as an up and coming, like, charmed community. And this is why, because I know the reason I'll go so hard about not using the word family is because I think that when people say like, oh, we're a family, I don't know. I just think of it as work. And I call us a community because this is more than like work to me. This isn't work. This is like, at the end of the day, even though today was like super hectic and I didn't get a chance to talk in the group chat to everybody, everybody was still talking. Like, we know each other's lives. You know what I'm saying? Like we know what's going on with Catherine and JD and Daisy, because Daisy is going. Daisy, I don't know if you didn't already had your test, but I'm sure you did very well with it. You know, we know about Mia's life. We know things about Sammy. We know things like Jay Harvey. Like, we know things about each other's lives. TARDIS. We know things about. I mean, just like so many of us. Tomorrow, okay, we talk. And good luck, by the way, Daisy. I'm sorry. And that means more to me than, oh, y'all watch my videos. Oh, you do this. Oh, you do that. It's the fact that we talk. It's the fact that if one of us has something going on, we can message another one and be like, hey, I noticed in the chat you da-da-da-da. Are you okay? Hey, I have a lot going on. Can I talk to you? That network of people is Tardy celebrated her 7-month OT because I was like, baby, what you mean 7 months? And then she explained, I was like, girl, 7 months. I just, every time I think about it, it blows my mind because we are coming together. You know what I'm like, do you know what I mean, man? Like, it's a rare occasion you build something real with a group. Yeah. That you've never met. And I just am in shock. I mean, like, in shock. I know we're supposed to be talking about Charmed. I know that. I just want to take, I guess I'm just trying to take it in. Just the way that, like, not only you all support me, but the way we, I guess, are so protective of each other, and just like the way we just like look out for each other. And thank you. What up? Thank you. I just, God, it just, it blows my mind. Like, I just, I remember a couple of years ago, I just kept thinking, like, I want to do something. I want to be something. I want to bring people together or be something in people's lives. And it's like, I'm just, girl, girl, girl. Earlier, when I told y'all that, like, I genuinely did not think, thank you, Ernest. Thank you, Crystal. When I told y'all earlier that I genuinely thought, and I mean this with every bone in my body, that I genuinely thought the most people that would ever subscribe to me, if any. First off, I never thought anyone would. Let's start there. Oh, Catherine. Oh, that's how I feel. I feel like this is like an escape. I never thought anybody would subscribe to me in the first place. And so when it first happened, I freaking cried my eyes out, darling. When I tell you I cried on here, I got off and I cried. I talked to my mom and I cried. I cried. And so I genuinely thought, like, okay, best case scenario, 10. I was like, if it reaches 10, girl, I'm and for it now to be over 100, not just because of people that have chosen to subscribe, but because we came together and have chosen to bring people in. Just our coven is the best. Our coven is definitely the best. Our coven is the best. Jay Harvey, you know I love you. Brittany said we better than y'all. Brittany, now we better. Hey, Squeaky Sister. Y'all, yesterday was Squeaky Sister's birthday. I hope y'all told Squeaky Sister happy birthday. And go follow her. I just want to say thank you. Thank you to everybody. Thank you for being here. Viewer, subscriber, troll account, whichever one you are. Thank you for being here. And the past few weeks been rough on your boy. And this just makes me feel like I think I've gotten on here every single live and cried. I think I have gotten on here every single one. I don't think that since we started that I haven't cried. And I kept thinking, like, am I okay? I was like, am I okay? Is everything all right? Like, do we need therapy? Like, what is the problem? But what I think it makes me realize every day, every time that we get on here, even though, yes, it's very emotionally heavy, it is very, thank you, heaven sent. Even though it is very emotionally heavy, and the seasons taking on different personalities, whatever, even though it's very, very heavy, I think the reason I keep getting so emotional is when we talk about certain scenes, or I see how much y'all care about me as a person. Thank you, Brittany. I have been struggling a lot with the fact that I'm working at a job that I don't like. And that I am not able to live in what I think my purpose is. And every time I get on here and I start talking, I realize what that purpose is. And I have it in my hand. And then I have to turn the camera off. And then go back to that. And I get so emotional. And I think that this has made me so emotional because with going every night, it's like I get that little taste of it's like I get that little taste of what God has for me, and then I have to leave it. And I want to immerse myself in it, and I can't. And I think that frustrates me because I have always put myself on the back burner, or, well, I can't do this because people will laugh, or people will see, or people will look, or people will. And now it's like I want to put my passion first, and some days I don't really see like a way through that. I thank you, Squeaky Sister. I believe that. I really do believe that. I spent 7 years of my life at a job that I hated. That job almost took me out. Like, when I tell you that job almost took me out. And I spent 7 years there because I was scared of what I was going to do if I didn't have it. Well, if I don't have it, what's going to be next? What am I going to do? Where am I going to go? How am I? And operating out of fear like that made me, I don't even think I missed opportunities. I didn't even look for opportunities. It wasn't even about missing them. I didn't look for them. And what I'm really scared of, and what keeps me up at night, is that I'm going to do it again. And another 7 years is going to pass. And I'll be almost 40 thinking, why didn't I? And I don't know what to do with that. I don't know what to do with that. And it moves me when Squeaky Sister said, when I left my 9 to 5, I was scared. Yeah, that's where I'm at. That's why tonight moved me, and what Makeup by Dez did moved me. Is feels like we'll get there. And I've never felt like I would get there. Whatever there is, I never felt like I would get it. And it feels like we are about to get there. Which I think is another piece of the puzzle. I've always felt like it was just me. And that's why I try to say we all the time, because it is us. Like, it's us. And my family, my mama, my sister, they support me. I have friends who support me. I have met amazing people on here who support me in different ways. Different ways is following, subscribing, whatever it is, however you choose to support. Liking, sharing. And I want to speak life into you, encourage you. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Thank you, Joseph. Catherine said it's only up. That's true. It's only up. 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 We're giving each other family. Yeah, you're right. Get better and better. Thank you. What up? Thank you. And Squeaky Sister, I know I sent you a message on Instagram and I have my focus mode turned on. So if you responded, I'm so sorry I didn't see it. I'm sorry. Oh, you broke the bank open. Thank you, Joseph. Greater's coming. So proud of you. Thank you, Wayne. And Wayne, I love you. You're so amazing. I feel like I'm an emotional mess. Just a mess. Ooh. Girl, I didn't know that was going to happen. That brought me right out the fantasy. Girl, not the bones cracking. Baby, the bone said, do you think you have another 6 years? Oh, God. The bone said, darling, if you got some dreams, you may want to go ahead and follow them now. Talk to you later, TARDIS. So worthy of all this comments. I receive it. I receive that. I receive that. Baby, listen. The bones got to going and I said, oh, okay. My bad. Let me be quiet. Because, oh my God. The bone said, are you okay, baby? Okay. I'm done. So thank y'all. Thank you. I just wanted to have that moment and just, I love that a black man loves it. Charm wasn't known for representing for colored people. Oh, not colored. But thank you. Yeah, because I'm colored. That's why I like when I had the chance to meet them in person and say to them, like being able to meet Rose McGowan and Shannon Doherty and Hollywood Combs. Hey, a beer. A big inspiration for me. Thank you. You know you inspire me because, baby, the stuff you be making happen. Listen. You be doing it. Y'all go follow ARV Art because I'm not good with letters. Go follow them because they make amazing Charmed content. They have a series called Charmed X, and it's my friend Ryan, so you can follow him. Not Ryan B. It's another Ryan, but just go follow the page. It'll be alright. I had a goal of meeting them in 2023, but I thought I was only gonna meet like one. Like I really thought like I was gonna meet like one of them, and then when I found out it was gonna be Holly, I was like, boom, all right, I'm good. When I found out Shannon, Holly, and Rose are gonna be together, you better believe I bought that ticket immediately. Getting to meet, I never thought I would have access to any of them, let alone like Shannon, Holly, and Rose at once. And then getting to meet Alyssa within like a week or two, it didn't even hit me. I'm telling you, like, it did not. Good luck, Daisy, on your test. Good luck, and thank you again. And thank you again. I love you, Daisy. Being able to meet all four of them in the span of a couple of weeks, girl, I'll never forget that, ever. Ever, 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 ever. And like Muggle Ron said, Rose remembering me is like, I could not believe it when she was like, hey, Caitlin. I was like, excuse me? What did you just call me? And when I was like, Rose remembers my name. Rose McGowan, Paige Matthews, Courtney Shane herself, Tatum O'Neal remembered me. And I made Holly cry. Like, girl. Anyway. I love this program. I love this television program. Yeah, I recorded it. You know what? JD, don't worry about where the cup is from. Don't worry about that because it's not June. And I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say that. It's not June. And so I'm going to go eat there. I'm going to eat there until June. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm being funny, y'all. I'm being funny. What did you eat? Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Oh, you know I'm not bringing that cup back up here now. You know I'm not bringing that cup back up here. Just in case, baby, that Jesus chicken. I went ahead and got that Jesus chicken tonight. Because, girl, I don't know. I just had a little hankering for it. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. I feel so ashamed now. Like, now I feel so dirty. Touch me. I want to feel dirty. What was I gonna say? Sore. Girl, what was I gonna say? Girl, what was I finna say? Oh, yeah. I think I'm gonna re-upload because there's a better version of me. There's a better version of me talking to them that someone recorded like professionally. And so I'm probably gonna re-upload that. But I didn't know if people wanted to see that. And so like I didn't want anybody to be like, why is he putting that up here? I don't know. Man, I don't know. Is that something y'all want to see? Because I already have it up there. It's the same thing. It's just from a different perspective. It's not me. It's not from the POV angle. It's for someone else has, uploaded it. So. Out your mouth. You think I was gonna show y'all that? So I'll probably upload that tomorrow. Good night, Brittany. Good night, my love. Baby, drinking it off screen. You missed the Wicked City Live. I will upload the Wicked City Live tomorrow because I have been uploading the lives consecutively. And so the lives we did about seasons 1 through 3 are on my YouTube. And they're on my YouTube. And the one that we did about Wicked City day before yesterday, I'm gonna upload that one tomorrow. Shaquita came on. Chanel was in the chat. Girl, I broke down, of course, because that's all I've been doing is breaking down like a fool. Soar. That'll be up, and then we're gonna go from there. Aria's mom. You talking about Farrah Fawcett? So, hey, Shantae. Don't be ashamed of your drink from the establishment. I still eat that. Listen, I'm not... Listen. Child. I be trying, but I just... The chitza. Girl, I'm not eating nothing called a chitza. I'm currently watching an episode where they say Billy. Unfortunately, child. They did. I'm getting my hair cut next week. I'm going to Dallas this weekend. And y'all, I am so excited. I didn't think that I was going to stay in Dallas. I wanted to stay in like Grand Prairie or Arlington or something. But I'm staying in Dallas. So my Dallas people, where y'all at, honey? Where my people at? Where my people at? Thank you, Lucas. Thank you, darling. What? Not I accidentally liked the live. Hey, Miss Carolyn. Miss Carolyn, I'm going to see you this weekend. If I don't, Miss Carolyn, just get the blessed oil out. Just get the blessed oil out. What am I doing out there? I'm just going because I think I want to move to Texas, but I'm not sure. Tonight has been really good, Shantae. I'm off tomorrow and Friday, and they don't know it yet, but I'm going to be off Monday. So yeah, come to NYC, child. I'm going to have to bring a cane, a wheelchair. I'm going to have to bring all kinds of things, child. Because by the time this arthritis gets to hurting in New York, But I may want to go while I'm still kind of like, I can move around a little easier. So I may come out there one day. But I'm scared. I'm horribly afraid to get on airplanes. I'm horribly afraid to get on them. And I'm supposed to be getting on a plane to go to Atlanta this summer. And we're going to see what happens. So do y'all have any tips on how to not be afraid of a plane at this point? Because your boy is horrified to get on one. So I'm just abandoning. What you mean? How am I abandoning you? I would love, not the gulps, not be up here deep throating the drink. Oh, not deep. I didn't mean that. Girl, that's not what I meant. I didn't mean that like that. See? Wasn't that lemonade? Wasn't a lemonade. Go right to sleep. Oh, no, baby. I can tell you right now, I ain't gonna be asleep. Am I practicing? Not sure I am. I'm practicing for when Dominic gets back up in the chat. Y'all, Dominic said he was gonna be my Valentine next year. And I'm just practicing for him. You know what, Mia? That may actually be a good solution. Because, am I drinking Aunt Gail's tea? No. When Prue put her hand over that cup, Prue said, don't give me no more of that. Prue said, no ma'am. She said, don't give me no more of that nasty mess. She said, girl, this is not nasty. I don't know what this is, but I don't want it. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm probably just take some like medicine or something. I'll probably go to my doctor and be like, hey BB, I'm gonna be getting on a flight, BB. And do you think maybe you could just give me a little something? Just a little something. Just enough to like wet my whistle. So we'll see. Hey, BB. I don't know. I don't remember where I got that from. Hey, BB. I think it was from, was it Alyssa? Was it Alyssa Edwards, I think? I don't know. But I flew to Atlanta last June and it was nothing, very comfy and fun. See, here's the thing about that. If you eat some every day, it can help with inflation. Eat what? Inflation. Inflammation, Kaylin. Idiot. A movie problem. Yeah, I feel like here's the thing that I'm really scared about. And I know this ain't gonna make no sense. Well, it does make sense. Y'all might not be able to relate. As a person who is large, but not in charge, I just want to be able to sit in the seat. And I'm very scared of sitting in the seat. So I know that may sound very like, well, baby, just lose the weight. But that is part of why I'm trying to lose weight, which is why I got diet lemonade don't play with me. And that's why I be eating grapes. Because your boy is trying to whittle away to nothing. And so I'm just scared to end up like Sheila from Why Did I Get Married? And they be like, baby, BB, do you think that that's gonna work, BB? And next thing you know, I'm going up the mountain for my marriage. So I'm really trying to avoid going up that mountain, driving up that mountain for my marriage. I'm really trying to avoid that. Really trying to avoid that. So yeah, but that's a mental thing. Baby, she went up that mountain. She went up that mountain. Do you hear me? And baby. Baby. But she got her a fine husband out of it. That's true. Good night, Joseph. And thank you again, Joseph. And you know why. Baby. I love T-Boz, but the way she sings sometimes makes me want to just fight her in the street. Baby. Girl, okay. I don't think they can do that to anyone unless they can't start. Yeah, and even then, I think you have to like, don't you have to like buy another plane seat or something? Honey, just make sure you don't have a middle seat. Oh, baby, trust me, I wasn't getting in nobody's middle seat, no way. That was not finna happen. I feel like there's a lot of season 4 we didn't get a chance to cover. I feel like y'all blessed me and the chat and everybody else. And I feel like there's a lot of season 4 we didn't get a chance to cover. It's only 9:45. I'm about half tired. Oh, God in heaven. You know, Ron brings up a good point about the Angel of Destiny. And why I go in depth on the Spearless Field. See, I can't even get it out because it's so stupid. Shantae says so an episode to wrap this up. Shut up. Shantae always trying to make us watch an episode. Shut up, man. Oh, God. Now, what you gonna do if I actually put on an episode? Everybody gonna be looking like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this anymore. So when the Angel of Destiny tells them that they have fulfilled their destiny and that they are now Destiny's children, I think that's what I mean when I say that season 4 is like a part 2 of season 3. Because when he says their destiny is fulfilled and that they can, give up their witchcraft and whatever else, that's what I mean when I say like season 4 is the culmination of the first 4 seasons. And so season 5 to me is a soft reboot of the show because they don't have their destiny anymore. They have a new destiny, if that makes sense. Like, this was what they were supposed to do, to the point that they were given the option to give up their magic. Like, give it up, give it away, send it now, don't let it stay. Like, so when season 5 comes, that's why I said they don't have as many things to worry about, because the source is gone. Like, essentially, there was no big bad for them to fight. And so that's why in season 5, you get kind of like random stuff happening. Same thing to a certain extent with season 6, even though there is that kind of like overarching storyline of Wyatt being evil or turning evil or whatever, is because there's no one villain necessarily, but there kind of is with Gideon. So there's a lot of is but isn't. But season 4 is the last season, to me, where they have a villain that was coming. Like, season 5, there really is no villain. No one villain. Season 6, we kind of have Gideon, whatever. He's whatever. We'll get to that discussion. Season 7, of course, we have the Avatar, Zanku, and then season 8, we got the whole thing with Billy and Christy. But good night, Mia. But this season 4 is the last time that we are going up against like a big bad that we knew was coming, boom, bam, in our face, and we had to get ready for him. And he made this first move, and he took out a big chunk of the Power 3. And now we have to figure out how we're gonna reconvene and how we're gonna, like, season 4 was the last time they had to regroup. Season 4 was the last time that they had to face something that I don't even know what I'm trying to say, man. Like, season 4 is just a culmination. It is the conclusion. It is the last chapter in a story. Because the source, as far as we know, had been alive as long as, like, back to when Grams was alive. Back to before that. We don't know how long he's been the source, but we know he's been the source for quite some time. And the reason that I'm saying that and how important that is the source has just been for centuries, potentially millennia. The underworld has always been organized under maybe not this particular source, but under a source. There's always been a source there. And season 4 is the last time we have that. Season 4 is the last time that the underworld is organized against the Charmed Ones. It's the last time that evil is pointed at them in any way that is like connected. So that's why the demons that they face later on seem so random, is because they kind of are. You know what I'm saying? Like the enemies that they face, yeah, he had to have been at least for a couple of centuries. So we know he had been, but even in that though, even with that, that's why I say like later on, everyone that they faced was kind of like, even Zanku. The thing about Zanku is that even though he was around for that same amount of time that the source was, he was locked up. So he wasn't even like a factor during that time. However, he was so powerful that even the source was scared of him. Like, even the source was like, The source was like, we ain't doing it. We ain't doing it. So Zanku, I think, now I'm gonna I might ruffle a few feathers here. And I don't think that the writers of Charmed quite had the attention span to do something like this. What I would have done was I would have introduced Zanku or something like him, or the idea of him, in like season 6. I don't think I would have done it in season 5 because I think season 5 is a little too soon. Excuse me. I think they need that little lull period, that little lame duck period, where they're just there and they're living their lives and they think everything is normal. And then in season 6, we start to kind of hear rumblings and mumblings and things like that, you know, sort of like there's this being that, you know, the source had to like whatever put away. Would I necessarily have them hear about it? Not at first, but when I say we, I mean the audience. I would have the audience kind of like, there's this demon that they're trying to erase. You know what? You know what? You know what? At the same time that that demon was trying to awaken the Titans, I would have had him also, or I'm going to say also, because the Titans, I feel like, as stupid as I feel like they are, at the same time, I don't think I would have replaced them with Zanku, because I think they fit more perfectly in the realm of what season 5 was. Season 5 was silly. Season 5 was nonsensical. Season 5 was whimsical. Season 5 was all of this. So they fit in that theme. To me. Even though I don't like them. I want to make that very clear. I don't like the Titans. But they fit in season 5. And so what I would have done was maybe one of the Titans sees what the demon was working on, and he, like, one of them is like, well, if we're out here, then who's this one? Whose block of ice is this? And then, like, the other one, like, I could see it being the one, like, the kind of smaller guy, and then the bigger one kind of be like, that's not our concern right now, getting revenge on the elders, or, you know, whatever it is. That's kind of our thing. Like, I could see that being that. Oh, not Catherine, read me. How did we get on season 5 and not 4? Oh. I feel very attacked. I feel very... I feel like that statement was very pointed. I feel very... I don't know. I feel a lot of things right now. I think that I'm the victim. I think that I have been victimized, and I do believe that I was done wrong. And yeah, so I just wanted to let everyone know that I feel like I was treated unfairly just now. Back to season 4. Season 4 is the last time that we have a villain like that. Ultra Instinct Antoine. Doffy Hate Club president. Is it Doffy? If y'all hit Ultra Instinct Antoine's, like, that profile picture, it's like, whoever drew yours, please let them draw one for me, because baby, they ate that up. Baby, they ate that up. I don't even know if you're still in here, but if you are, baby, they ate that up. I feel like that person is not even... Yeah. Baby, they ate that up. Let me know. Anyway. What am I trying to say? I need them to... Right! I want them to comment. Like, because I be talking sometimes, and I don't even be like... you know, they don't still be in here. So I'm trying to like make sure they're still in here. Cause I don't want to just be like talking to myself and then they ain't even in here and then they didn't even get the compliment. Because then I'm gonna just pass out. So Ultra Instinct Antoine, if you still in here, we're trying to communicate with you. You don't read the comments. I always read the comments. There's never been a time where I didn't read the comments. And you can't prove that I don't. Because I always do. Anyway. Moving on. See, I read your comment. Anyway. And so anything with supernatural in it, per. Witchy said you always be missing mine. Witchy. Oh, Jay Harvin said he reads the comments. Thank you. Thank you. Mark said you have not been reading the comments. Mark, whose side are you on? Shantae says, so what was my breakdown for the seasons? Is this like is this like gang up on Galen Day and nobody told me? Because I would have got myself ready. I've been trying to tell you about the vamp episode for 2 weeks. We talked about that. We talked about that. We did. Mark said I've been throwing ideas for 30 minutes and I've been catching them. Catherine talking about I already read. Abrielle says Supernatural is better. Okay, Abrielle, let me send you something. And okay, that's my Cash App, Abrielle. And when you send something to that Cash App, we can discuss Supernatural. We can discuss The New Charmed. We can discuss. We can discuss. See, we can discuss whatever you want. You have not added your spin on my ideas. Because yours were just so amazing. I didn't want to water them down with what, you know, would come out of my mouth. I thought they were just so spectacular. RAR XD said, pay to discuss on a live? That's crazy. Oh, you don't follow me and you're new here. Never mind. You don't get it. Okay. So you'll be all right. Anyway. So yeah, like I said, I read the comments. Thank you, Jay Harvey. Thank you, Jay Harvey, for being on my side. Thank you, Jay Harvey. Thank you. I appreciate that. Because right now, I feel very attacked. I feel very unloved. Shantae says still didn't tell me his thoughts on my breakdown. Because your breakdown was so beautiful and so well done that I just felt like, how could I even begin to talk about that greatness? You know what I mean? Like just not being able to put into words how amazing what you said was. Just, I don't think it would be fair to the masterpiece that you wrote. What Up said my idea didn't get read either just now. I did see your idea just now. So you love seeing who's the final big band. I love whatever you loved. I loved whatever idea you shared, and I loved whatever you told the chat. Mark said he missed the compliment. I just okay. All right. You know what? They are begging. They are backing me up into a corner. Rachel True. You know what? I feel like Rachel True would make a really good Piper. I feel like Rachel True would make a really good Piper. And not just because she was on half and half with her, but I think Essence Atkins would make a good Phoebe. I could see Essence Atkins making a good Phoebe. Because she gave very much Little Sister vibes. Like, Essence gave very much Little Sister vibes, especially when she was with Rachel True. So, she would definitely be Patty. We are now, probably. We are definitely talking about, like, about 20 years ago. No shade. Just saying that this, we're, you know. So. I had to drink my drink. I think that Vivica A. Fox will be a good Patty. Not Patty, Prue. I think that Vivica A. Fox would have been a good Prue. I think that Gabrielle Union would have made a good Paige. I do. I think Gabrielle Union would have made a good Paige. Gabrielle Union. Oh, you made Gabrielle Union your Prue. Oh. Interesting. That's very interesting indeed. We got her on two opposite sides of the spectrum. Taraji could be the source. Taraji would be like Sheila. She would be Sheila. No, we're talking about back then. We are not talking about right now. We are definitely talking about like back in the cut. Not Vivica would be Grams. Victoria Rowell. Victoria Rowell, I feel like is a little too rowdy to play Prue. I feel like Prue was very... Victoria Rowell she plays chaotic very well. And so I could almost see her playing Phoebe more. In terms of like personalities of the characters. Cause she plays very, very like Drusilla Winters was chaos in a bottle. She was chaos in a bottle. Lynn Whitfield could be... I feel like I would make Lynn Whitfield Grams for sure. Lynn Whitfield would make a good Grams, or she could be like a good Aunt Gail who actually had money. Let's double back and say that. Like, Lynn Whitfield could play a good Aunt Gail who had money. She was young back then, though. That's true. You're right. You're right. Okay. If we're talking about back in the cut, then she could probably play Patty. But, like, rich Patty. Lynn Whitfield always... Listen, she'll play evil, but she'll never play broke. She is not going to be sitting up there pretending like she ain't got no money. She's sitting there, ma'am. Y'all got this up to 50K likes? Not y'all got it up to 50K? I mentioned the likes when it was 40K. I mean, yeah, because I saw that. Yeah, no, because I saw that. I saw that. No, I saw that when you said. I saw that when you. I saw that when you said that. Yeah, yeah. And 211 shares. Shamar Moore is Lily. Lily doesn't get to exist in this timeline. I think Lily just should not be around. Oh, I could see Lark Voorhees as Phoebe. Oh, I could see that. I could see that. I could see Lark Voorhees as Phoebe. The young woman who played I can never remember that character's name on Family Matters, Urkel's girlfriend. I could see her being a good Phoebe. I could see her being a good Phoebe. She was so cute. She was so sweet. Bless her heart. Bless her soul. Shamar Moore could definitely be a white lighter though. He's so soft looking. Like he's very good looking, but he just looks very soft. Like I wouldn't make him like a demon or something. I'd make him a white lighter. Nia Long is Piper. Zoe Saldana is Phoebe. Zoe Kravitz is Paige. That is quite the age range. That is quite the age difference. Baby, not Patty was having children in the 70s and the 90s. Woo. That is a spectrum. That's Deliver Us from Eva territory. Kim Fields will make a good Paige or Phoebe. I'm gonna have to think about that. 76 and 90. Which one of y'all is 76? Oh, you're saying born in 76. Girl, I thought you were saying one of y'all is 76 and the other one is 90. I was like, oh my God. And then when I turn this on, Galen, turn it on. Turn it on. You thought mommy had you never knew I was pregnant. You just thought mommy got a little fat. I always remember the way and mommy got a little fat. Girl, shut up. Who in their right mind would have just been like, oh, you just got a little fat? I don't know. Let me shut up because they were little. I can't. Like, I just can't. And then, okay, so you know what? Back to season 4, as I was so nicely reminded we have not talked about. I do want to talk about Countess Vaughn as Phoebe. Ooh, that would be cute. Ooh, that would be so cute. We say that about ourselves all the time. Sammy, I love Sammy. Sammy is like that quiet shade thrower. Like, I feel like Sammy just enjoys the shade from behind the scenes, and then she just throws something in there every now and again. And I stand. I have to stand. The thing about season 4 that I wanted to say, I think that season 4 did the best they could with what they had. You know that Mariah Carey video where she's like, I'm gonna do the best I can with what I got. That's what I think about season 4. I think that them including Paige as a half sister was very ambitious because of the amount of animation that her power was going to have to add to the show. But I think it was worth the payoff. I think that having her being able to telekinetic orb, I think that added a different layer to it, and it added that kind of fresh breath into their magic, into their pool of magic. I think especially in conjunction with Piper's exploding power. So I think that making her Sam's child, instead of being like, oh, Victor and I had another daughter and we had to give her up because I wasn't able to, you know, take care of her alone, or Victor never knew I was pregnant or something like that. They could have gone that route, but I'm glad they didn't, because I think that having Bree said, I really want a Black Witch show. We need it for the culture. Well, then you can go watch Wicked City. Wicked City is a show about Black witches who live in Atlanta. And if you would like a little bit more information about that, then you can go to the link tree in my bio and go to listen to my podcast on Apple Podcasts about it, where I even have some of the stars of Wicked City guest starring on it. And that is a real thing. That is not me just like saying it just to say it. Like, it's a real thing. So look up Wicked City and then go listen to my podcast. You can go on my YouTube and find it. Find some information about it. Oh my God. You can go on my YouTube. So, and you can find the video version of the podcast there. Girl, this thing almost fell over. Is it a web series? No. It's on All Black, the All Black app, or on AMC. Yep. Okay. Yep. There we go. Yep. Just in case you don't see it, Brie, it's right there. I think you'll love it. It's very short seasons, or there are very short seasons, but I think you'll love it. Could you imagine we gave away Victor's fourth child? Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, they could have very easily gone the route of like, Victor and I had another baby, but he didn't know about it, and da-da-da-da. And I just don't know that I would have gone that route. And so I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad that they did give her a different power set from her sisters, and giving her that different lineage, I think kind of like fleshes out a little bit that magic, like, because I think up to this point we kept thinking like, well, what would Piper and her concubine's child be like? Like, what would their powers be? You know, what would her and her concubine's child be able to do? Would they just have witch powers? Would they just have, you know, whatever else? But I love the fact that they had Paige so that we can see, oh, this is what a half white lighter baby looks like. This is what a half white lighter baby does. What they can be. And then they mess it up by having like Wyatt just for some reason be just all powerful, and he's not even like a real regular being, you know, whatever. But I makeup idea said I just woke up. Where are we in the season? Baby, we just talking at this point. I need me a little concubine on the side. Listen. You and me both, sister. What if when I'm in Dallas? What if I meet the love of my life while I'm in Dallas? What if what if I go to Dallas and like me and one of my friends, we go in like a store or something like that, and I'm just looking around, and this person, this because y'all know sometimes I'll be in my heterosexual era, but right now I'm not in my heterosexual era because I'm trying to find love. And so like he be looking at me and he's like, hey, I was just wondering, are you from around here? Because I haven't seen you before. And then I'm kind of thinking like, okay, what that mean? Because the whole show, like, I mean, not the show, but like the city is huge. What you mean you ain't seen me around here before? But then I found out later on that he was just saying it because he was nervous and he didn't really know like what to say. And so he's like, well, yeah, I mean, because, you know, I just come in this store all the time and, you know, I haven't like ever seen you before. And I'm like, oh, well, no, I'm from Louisiana. And he was like, oh, That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. I go down to Louisiana sometimes because I got family in X city, insert city here. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's a little far away from me. But, you know, that's cool that you got family down there. And he was like, so how long you in Dallas for? And I'm not finna tell that man how long I'm finna be in Dallas. Because if you think that I'm gonna be down there and I'm finna give you all that information on me so that you can come find me, and then next thing I know, I'm on the first 48, you got me messed up. And so I'm like, oh, I don't know. Just kind of, you know, feeling it out or whatever. Me and my friends that I'm here with. And, you know, my mama and my sister, they're waiting for me to come home. Whatever else. And he's like, oh, okay, that's cool. That's cool. Well, I gotta go. But maybe like we could like hang out before you leave. And in my mind, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I'm not gonna go somewhere with you. But I do it because I'm a bird. And so we go to like PF Chang's because I love PF Chang's. I love it. I love PF Chang's. But we don't have one around here. And so I can't like, you know, whatever. And so we don't have one accessible. And so we go to PF Chang's. And he's like, do you like eating here often? And I'm like, well, I like to, but we don't have one around where I live. And he's like, so where are you from? Mind you, I'm not gonna tell this man where I'm actually from because this is the second day I've known him. And if you think that I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna tell you where I'm from the second day I know you, then you got to be out your last mind. So I tell him like Shreveport or something. And he was like, oh, okay, yeah, I be in Shreveport all the time. And then now, now that I'm lying to him, because he's going to ask me if he can meet me in Shreveport one day. And now I got to lie and come up with a reason to backtrack. And see, I'm getting caught up in my lie already. But anyway, I'm not even going to tell y'all how I got to that, how I get out of that. I'm not even gonna tell y'all that yet. So, I don't be wanting to lie in case they ask you specific stuff. See, I got friends who live there. That's the thing about it. I got friends who live there, so I know some things about it. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I know some things about it. And so, like, I can't tell you specifics, but I can be like, yeah, you know, when I be going down, da-da-da-da, blah, 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 blah. And he'll be like, yeah. So, anyway, I'm just going to try to control the conversation so that way he don't ever ask me no specifics. So, we have a very lovely dinner. And he tells me a lot of things about himself. And I don't reveal a lot because I don't know where this is going. And I'm not going to open myself up. Even though this man is trusting me to tell me things about him. But I'm not going to do the same. Because, partly because I'm guarded. And then partly because I feel like there must be a reason that you're doing this. Like you lost a bet or something. Like it all comes back to me like not believing in myself. And not really like wanting a vegan tour guide. Follow for cultural gems and travel tips around the world. I will follow you somewhere on a plane. And so, you know, we're cooling. We're just cooling. And then, like, he hugs me. At the end of the night, he hugs me. That's all he does. He just hugs me. And so I'm like, And so then he's like, the next day, he calls me. He's like, hey, I was just wondering, I wasn't sure what day you were going to leave, but I was wondering if you want to hang out again. And I'm thinking like, I just assumed I was never going to hear from this man again. But he, you know, we meet up and we go to the movies because I ain't never been to an AMC theater a day in my life. I ain't ever been to an AMC theater. And so he's like, oh yeah, we can go to the AMC theater and we can go see whatever movie's out now. And Kingsman 5. And so I'm like, okay. And we have fun. And are you from the country? What you mean? What you mean am I from the country? And so I'm just chilling. And then he buys me some popcorn. And I really don't feel comfortable with that necessarily. Because I feel like how you answer hers and ignore mine. Because I did answer. You just didn't hear it. They don't have AMCs in Louisiana. Yeah, baby, I'm from Louisiana. I don't know if they got them. If they do, they're down South Louisiana. I'm in North Louisiana. So I couldn't tell you to save my life. But anyhow, I asked if you were a Cancer. Oh yeah, I am. I'm a Cancer. Y'all are reading me tonight. Reading me for Phil. You know what? I'm not gonna tell y'all the rest of the story. I'm just gonna let you figure it out on your own. How about that? I thought so. That guard. I don't have a guard. Up. How about that? And you didn't hear me say it, and you can't prove that I ever said it. And I'm gonna delete this from the part. Delete this part of the live. Oh, God in heaven. So, okay, y'all say go ahead and tell you. Okay, all right. Not me being on the defense, saying that I'm not on the defense. Oh, God. Oh, sweet Jesus. Okay. Sore. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Sore. Somebody asked, does he like Charmed? This is a good segue. Because after we leave a movie, it wasn't really good. Like, we went to go see the movie, and we had our popcorn. And the reason I didn't really want him to buy the popcorn is I felt uncomfortable with people giving me things, and I feel like I have to be the one to give people things. And so, like, that's something that I got to deal with internally. And so, we leave, and I'm like, did you like that movie? Because I really kind of don't want to say it, but I was like, how do you feel about that movie? And he's like, I mean, it was okay. And I'm like, yeah. And he was like, nah, it was bad. And then we laughed. But I don't laugh like that thing that I be doing when I'm on here, where I do this. Because I'll be so embarrassed for some reason that, like, y'all gonna see how big my cheeks are. And so I'll be like, because I don't want y'all to see how big my cheeks are. But, like, with him, he knows they're big. And so, not me drawing attention to that, and then I saw people gonna look at as my big cheeks. Not me being on Star versus the Forces of Evil. Not me having my cheek marks. Which cheek marks? Okay. If I was on Star versus the Forces of Evil, I feel like I would have... I don't want Star's cheek marks. I don't want hearts. I feel like I would want diamonds like Moon. Or did Eclipsa have the spade? Which one did Eclipsa have? She had the spade. Eclipsa had the spade because Meteora had the clovers. She had the clovers. Because it was like a deck. It was the deck of cards. So Eclipsa was the spade. Meteora was the whatever the clover thing is. Star was the heart. And then Moon was the diamond. So yeah. So I think I'd want the spade. I think I would. Because I loved when Eclipse's cheek marks would glow. And my girl would, real quick, like when she first got the wand back from Star. And right before she, did what she did to Meteora. And she got the wand and she did all that extra stuff. And then the magic flowed through and she was like, I love that. I absolutely love that. Black Velvet Inferno. Midnight. Wait. Okay, wait. Let me do it like she did it. Okay, wait. Midnight Shriek. Girl, my girl ate that. My girl ate that up. When hey, Top Picks, how are you? How's everything going with you? I'm talking about Eclipsa ate that up. One thing about Eclipsa, baby, when she would say a spell real quick, eat it up. She would eat it up. Y'all, one of my friends is in here. And I'm gonna call him out and say, hey, Crystal Westlaff, y'all go follow him. He's so sweet. Like, when you just see like a sweet person, he's just so sweet. Y'all go follow him. Anywho, and I just love when Eclipsa would get that spell get that wand in her hand, and when she hit that Black Velvet Inferno, he better comment. Listen, so he can get followed. That's all I'm gonna say. And when she got that wand in her hand, and this is when Mina Loveberry. When Mina Loveberry was attacking, and she had made all the Solarian warriors and stuff, and Eclipsa hit us with that Black Velvet Inferno, and it didn't do nothing, even though it worked completely different than the first time that she used it. And I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting that happened. I don't think he's in here anymore. If he's not, oh well, we tried. Anywho, it was very sweet. Like, not sweet. I just love that moment. Ryan B is here. Y'all go follow Ryan B. Ryan B is the one who inspired us to do this. And I love the fact that I'm not even talking about the show right now in this moment. But Ryan is the one who got us here tonight. So y'all go follow him. I can't believe Crystal left. Like, I cannot believe that he left. And I feel so stupid now. I feel so crazy now. Like, you know how like you give somebody a shout out and then they just get out the chat very silently? I almost feel crazy. Like, I feel bad. Like, what if he actually hates me and does not want to hear me speak? But I'm thinking that this man is my friend in my head. I would pass out. I would actually pass out. I think I would just be like, okay, never mind. Let's talk about Steven Universe one day. Listen. Because the minute when I get to talking about rose quartz, no man. That hussy. I can't handle her. I can't handle that hussy. I can't stand her. And I know some people absolutely love them some rose quartz. I'm not one of them people. Anywho, thank you, Lynn J. I ain't been thanking nobody that followed. Thank you to everyone who followed tonight. I know we're very off track, and I'm gonna finish this one thing about Star versus the Forces of Evil. Not your friend after my heart. Who? Who's after your heart? What's going on? I can't get into Steven Universe. Steven Universe is a good show. I think when you girl, I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. Just, I think you'll like it. That's all I can tell you. Bria said I requested to follow you, but this is a Rose Quartz slander account. Purr. Baby, Rose Quartz can... I'm glad she don't exist. I'm glad she don't exist, child. See, shout out Ryan B. Ryan never even commented. Y'all, I'm starting to think people hate me. I think people might actually hate me. Yo, what if people actually hate me and I think that they're my friends? Oh my God. Ryan is sweet though. I think he probably just was in and out. I think that's what that was. I'm not actually. Sometimes I do be thinking like, oh, I feel like people hate me. Not what if, oh, okay. Ryan said, well, now what if people hate me? Oh, okay, fine. Okay. I feel good. I feel good now. Okay. I feel validated. I feel seen. Witchy said, I'm a pure soul. Thank you. Joey said, well, I like you. We be friends IRL. Purr. Listen, I do be thinking that sometimes. I'm like, what if people actually don't like me? And then I'm like, well, what would I do? Ryan said, I don't know what we were talking about. Baby, we really aren't talking about a lot. We are talking about Charmed, but then at the same time, I somehow went into like delusion land about, because I'm going to Dallas this weekend, and somehow I went into like delusion land of how I'm gonna meet my husband in Dallas, and then we started talking about Star versus the forces of evil. It's just a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot happening. It's a lot going on in my mind and a lot happening. So even though he visits every week, Katrina, why would you say that? Jay said, oh, I live in Dallas. Come on, Jay. Jay, I feel like you used to follow me, but I feel like you unfollowed me for some reason. I feel like you used to follow me. Oh, we followed each other. Did you like block me and then unblock me so we wouldn't follow each other anymore? Or am I making it up? Anyway, but yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So we're going to get back to season 4. Okay. All right. Y'all stay on track with me. Okay. Because y'all are the ones. Wow. How dare you accuse me? I thought we had followed each other. Because I've seen you multiple times and I genuinely thought that we followed each other. I'm sorry. My bad. I was just. But can you stay on track with you? I'm on track right now. So the Delulu land, it might be. It's the same Delulu making me think I'm gonna ever get married. One day we need to discuss the reboot in a positive light. I actually would really enjoy that and think that we should do that one day. Season 4. So we were talking about how they kind of did Paige, I think, the best they could with what they had. And what I kind of didn't care for in that, though, is that they only went so far in fleshing her out. And I think it's because at a certain point, now I'm going to use this phrase. I don't necessarily mean this phrase. I don't think they cared at a certain point. Like, Paige came in and she asked her uncle what the name of the church was. And I think that they did that for storyline purposes so that Paige would have someone to lead her to where she was born. I think that that's why that happened. But I do not think that the writers really cared to flesh her life out. Like, when I say they didn't care, what I mean is, like, clearly they showed us how she lost her parents. Like, you know, they showed us how she lost her parents, the person she used to be. We know that she used to have a drinking problem. We know that she used to be a rebellious child. We know that she worked hard to stand on her own 2 feet. The thing is, when I say they didn't care to flesh her out, I mean, her life was very in and out with how Paige pretty much has hyper-focus. Nothing else existed after she joined. Yes, exactly. You know, she had Glenn. She was dating Shane that we never brought back up because, you know, he said, no, ma'am, you think I'm finna sit up here and deal with all this magic? You got to be out your mind. And, and I think that what ends up happening is, Paige, I don't think Paige feels one-dimensional. I really don't think she feels one-dimensional. I think the problem is that at a certain point, Paige feels like... It feels like they made her an only child so that they could make her fit into the story more, as opposed to, like, having to write for Paige and a sibling and a cousin. Like, instead of having to actually do that, they just did it to where, you know, they could just write like she had always been there. Ryan said, remember when Paige's mom her wig flew out the car? When that Ford Taurus, that I don't think was actually a Taurus, it was a whole other car, but I can never tell those old cars apart, flipped. And Mama's wig kept flipping in the other direction. I said, okay, I said, now I know that Charmed has a problem with wigs. I know that. We all know that. We know that Charmed has a huge wig problem. But you cannot sit there and tell me that you could not have afforded to glue that woman's wig down. The dummy. You couldn't have afforded to glue the wig down on the dummy. The crash dummy that was in the car. There's no way you can tell me that. There's no way you can tell me that. Because the only way I'm going to accept that is if you tell me that this woman's head rolled. Like, if you're telling me that, like, the car crashed and her head rolled, then okay, yeah, I'll give you that. But you are not going to sit here and tell me that you couldn't have pinned the wig on the dummy. There's no way. I refuse to believe it. I refuse to believe it. Got to be glued to Highway 6 per. But then you got Shax. Then you got Shax up here with his... Baby, they put more Elmer's glue on that lace than a little bit. When I tell you, they went to Target and they got every glue stick they could find. Every spray adhesive they could put their hands on. And they said, we keeping this wig down. You think that we finna have an evil wind that blows, that which forms below, and his wig is finna fly? They said, no, ma'am. They said, no, ma'am. Not in 2001. Not in the year of our Lord 2001. Baby, they had that thing so pressed and laid. I know Michael Bailey Smith had to have slept with a band over some kind of band, something over that lace front for about 2 days. Because when he did like that and the wind flew and that wig stayed on, baby, you couldn't have told me. You couldn't have told me. Trina said, I just scrolled to this live and I got no idea what's going on, but I love you. Welcome to the foolishness. Welcome to the drama. Welcome to the foolishness that is Galen. Baby, if Prue would have threw his wig off, she might still be here. That is true. That is true. If Prue had just ding dong dong, if she had just done that real quick. I don't know why I made that sound effect for that woman's power. I don't know why I made that sound effect for that woman's power, but I did. That's interesting that I would choose to do that. The wig was the source of his power. It might have been. And then palazzo pants with his print. Because I was like, I know unaliving a charmed one has got to be a momentous occasion. Like, don't get me wrong. But he was very excited, if you get what I mean. Like, baby, when he went up against him, I was like, is that a hurricane in your pocket? Or are you just excited to see me? It was giving very that. It was giving very that, baby. And that chest. He might have thrown Prue, but I had something that I would have thrown at him. And I'm just going to keep it moving before y'all get off of here. Anyway, what are we talking about? Thirsting after the wind demon. I mean, perm. Boris Kojo at Shax? Oh, baby. What is that? Oh, my bad. Girl. I thought about Summer Walker and that meme real quick, girl. I was gonna... Who? Okay, all right. Okay, I'm gonna behave. I'm gonna get myself together. Nicolette said I joined at the right time. Charmed After Dark. We need to do that one night. Just Charmed After Dark. But we're gonna get on Instagram. We ain't gonna get on here. We're gonna get on Instagram. Who was the rainbowiest demon in Charmed? The Source and Zanku, for different reasons. The Source would be like verse. I mean, not. Oh God, no. Zanku would be verse, and then the Source was the bottom. But anyway, Barbas was asexual, but I don't think he was interested in anything at all. Anyway, yeah, I probably put Drake as bi. I think Drake will be bi, probably. Drake will be bi. Zanku will be verse, and the Source is the bottom. Shax is a top though. No, Shax is straight. Shax is straight. Shax is straight. But anyway, not that I would know anything about all of that because I'm heterosexual. Yeah, Paige had didn't have any family, and that was my thing, was like, at the end of the day, you know, her not having any family, I don't think that it did like a great disservice. Yeah, I just blocked that troll oh, let me put this down. And let me whisper to y'all real quick. Let me whisper to y'all. The Kazi demon could do things to me that I can't say on here. The Kazi demon could split me in half, and I would thank him. And I'm gonna leave it at that. That man was so fine. That man was so fine. My God. What were we talking about? What were we talking about? Let me find, you know what? Let me find a picture. Give me a second. Because somebody said, where's a picture of him? And I know I was talking about the Kazi recently. Hold on. Oh, child, I'm trying not to accidentally hit something that y'all don't need to see. I know I was talking about the Kazi recently, and I have a picture of him somewhere. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. Give me a quick moment in time. I know I have a picture of the Kazi demon. Oh, not that. Okay. Baby, baby, baby. Y'all give me a second. Because I'm finna... Y'all give me a minute. Because I gotta find this picture. Y'all know how I get when my mind is like, okay, when my mind makes something up. Y'all know it. Not Laura Winslow as the seer. Look at that man. Look at that man. Not my mama screaming at the cats, Jesus. Okay, it's gonna kind of cut out for a second because I'm finna send this picture to myself, so give me a minute. Catherine is right. We need Jesus. Catherine is right. We do need Jesus. Oh my God. Whew, girl. Y'all look at that man. Y'all look at that man. Look at that man. Look. Hey, Brittany. Y'all go follow Brittany. Go follow Charms Collector. Y'all. Not Sammy said you can keep him. Y'all. Can you tell me that man one time? Look at him. Just. Thank you, Joey. Girl, let me get myself together, because y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand. So, I just want to show this picture. Just to remind us that we all need Jesus. Just to remind you that we all need Jesus. Just to remind you that every single one of us involved needs Jesus. And every single time that you think about cutting up, I want you to think about L'Oreal. I want you to think about L'Oreal. Gayla said it's purring. I got something doing something. You would definitely get in some study time teaching the Cosby Demon literacy, literacy, anatomy, biology, health class, lunch, because I would gobble this. Okay, all right, okay. We're gonna pretend like we didn't say that, but Caitlin, they heard it. Okay, but that don't mean that you gotta say nothing. Okay, all right. So we're just gonna pretend like we didn't say it, right? Yeah. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, you ready? Okay, yeah. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So, yeah. Let's see. Baby. Boom, boom. It's 11 o'clock. And I'm just gonna say y'all didn't let me finish talking about season 4. And your boy is hurting a good bit. So I'm gonna need to, kind of go take me something. And so going to midnight, I could lay down and let y'all talk if you want to. Shantae, Sashay Shantae, Panther on the Runway. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, I think, and I'm gonna end it here. If you are a new subscriber tonight, you became a subscriber tonight. Good night, Brittany. If you became a subscriber tonight, then I will DM you the link to the GroupMe. I can't promise with 100% certainty it will be tonight. It may be tomorrow. Usually I try to do them the same night. But because there's so many, it may be in the morning. But I'm going to try to get to everybody tonight. I'm going to try my hardest to get to everybody tonight. So yeah. Thank you to everyone that chose to subscribe. Thank you to everyone who was gifted with a subscription. And hopefully everyone will be in the group chat, and hopefully I'll have some beautiful, beautiful artwork for you very soon, and maybe another little treat. And I am working on something else that I'm excited about. It's not like something super spectacular, but I'm excited about it, and I'm excited to see what y'all hussies think about it. So I will chit chat with you later. We will reconvene to finish discussing season 4 because you hussies did not let me finish. It is in no way, shape, form, or fashion my fault because I always stay on target. I was manipulated and I was treated horribly. So yeah, thank you, Susan Southern. Even though we went into season 5, we never did that, and you can't prove we did, Catherine. I'm not reading that, JD. So y'all hussies have a great night, and hopefully you have a pleasant tomorrow. Good night, Jay Harvey. Good night, Joey. Good night, Witchy. Good night, Jim Bob. Good night, Pop Pop. Anyway, good night, everybody. I hope y'all have a blessed night. Blessed be my darling.